grimaces just a little bit,
How old
and I can
is
just sound Tom Holland being like, "Hey man, what's up?" And he's just like, "Bruh," and then he just starts beating him senselessly. And I would be like, "Why are you doing this, Russell Crowe?" And he's like,
we got music.
Yeah.
Insane.
So is everybody ready to go?
"That's
We have music.
subjective, but sure."
I
can't
let
hear
me
the
look at
music.
my character again because I low key forgot my character.
Is the music like super important?
No, if you don't like it, you can turn it off.
Well, I don't have the music. I'm playing on 2 different computers here. So
Okay.
I'm
Wait, Matthew, are you under the bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Darn, I thought I muted myself. I apologize for y'all having to hear that.
Well, hear what?
Personally, I liked it.
How important is this?
Had a lot of character.
Me burping like a maniac.
It my life is better now.
I really
Okay.
did think I muted myself. I do apologize.
Don't let it happen again, you filthy slob.
I'll do it again.
So if everybody's ready to
Just
go,
don't mute it, please.
is everyone ready to go, or is anybody not?
We're just gonna keep front-ending.
I'm looking
your
over
recording.
my character's stuff.
Yeah, you'll have time to do that.
I guess I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah, let's-
3, 2, 1. And this is the way that I'm going to manage the fact that we got 8 people. I'll unmute everyone who's currently in the focal scene because it's very unlikely you're all going to be in the same spot at the same time. So to begin with this campaign, you guys are in the city of Pyranos, in the capital city of the Empire. Many of you have grown up on varying levels of poverty with varying levels of success in your life, but all of you guys are pretty much at the peak of your field. At this point, a rebellion has been brewing in the hills for a fair while, but it has not made it very far in terms of its influence. There's actually even been tales that the rebels are getting slaughtered wholesale wherever they happen to be. So, starting in this, we're going to zoom in a little bit to a specific part of this world. This low-down slum here in the purple area barely even has running water in most places. And for a fantasy world like this, where it's easy enough to create artificial pressure and so on, that is basically just a sign of governmental neglect. This area is barely watched, barely surveilled. Pyranos is the name of this town. 1 second, I'm having to pull something up because I put it on the wrong window, which feels kind of stupid. Okay. What? Where did I stick that? Okay, now I'm feeling kind of dumb. Whenever you lose something in your world anvil. I guess I'm going to need to hunt it down in Tyler's text chain then. So who's rolling like 50,000 things? Oh, messages. Okay. So, Tyler. So,
Yes.
Your character's currently in a tavern, and it seems the music didn't want to continue playing.
It's fine.
So your character is currently in a small, seedy establishment of a tavern. What is your character currently doing?
My character's likely just has a small puzzle box that he's messing with to himself in the corner of this tavern. Couple drinks in, kind of very bored with what's going on right now.
Yeah. So around this point, he hears a plop and a thud as somebody sits down in the seat right in front of him and looks at him. Would you mind describing Kiri to me?
Am I describing what?
Kyria Gipta, the fiance. 1 second. I need to. It's been a bit, so I need to refresh myself on character names. Thamos's fiance.
Okay. I was about to say. Okay. She is relatively fair. Not anything that would extraordinarily cut her out of the individual. You wouldn't recognize her in a crowd amongst nobles, but fair and attractive enough that she seems kind of out of place here. Brown hair and the likes, sort of tied up in a noble hairstyle. Definitely kind of not belonging here.
Yeah, and also she is now covered in bandages on various areas of her body, with varying degrees of fresh blood in all of them. So, you looking for a job?
Aye, woman of your standards probably pays well at that.
So, you'd happen to be a poloist, right? Grand plan maker?
It's probably one of more.
Tactician supreme? What are some of your other titles again?
Well, you've mentioned a couple of my humble ones. I personally think that penultimate genius is probably a fair one.
Penultimate?
Aye.
Who's number one?
Well, I'll reserve that notion to myself.
Okay. So, obviously a tavern's not quite the place to talk business. You know any places like that where you might go?
Well, quick question. Does my character own any sort of property in this city?
He probably knows a fair number of people with connections that own properties of certain different types, but for himself, that's up for you to decide.
All right. I think it's likely if he owns property, it's in this part of the city, and this is not the portion of the city my character would like to be in to discuss this. I have some connections in the sector nearby. Let's reallocate to there.
Okay. So you guys head up a ways. Do you head into the noble sector, the market sector, the generally middle class style sector, or what is it's kind of hard to describe. It's not quite the slums, but it's not quite nice. It's like the non-violent poor.
We'll go to the non-violent poor.
Okay. So you go up to one of your safe houses, knock on the door, and this man with this thick black beard opens the door, looks at you and goes, opens the door and lets you in through. And then looks at the lady companion walking behind you and goes, because I can't whistle.
My character is very quickly going to pull aside his cloak and brandish his dagger at the man.
Hands up and backs away.
This one's for business, not for pleasure.
Looks kind of disgruntled, scratches his neck, and turns around the corner, leaving you to walk into the privacy room and shut the sound-tight door.
All right. You say you have business proposal?
Yes. So, I would like you to know, before we get started, the intended target. So you know that fairly nice estate down the very long road, tall palace-like, has somebody calling themselves the king of the world living there.
Aye. Nigh on untouchable from what I've heard.
Yeah, and I've heard that you like a challenge, so I feel like that just might capture your interest.
Well, depends on what you're trying to break. I'm not a suicidal man. I'm not going to go in there alone, and I'm not going to go in there for the purposes of trying to kill one of the top officials. I'll never get out.
So, what we need right now is information. As you're probably well aware, nobody has any idea as to what's going on with the whole King of the World situation, what he can do, what he knows, what he does, what he even is. All that we know is that he's been alive for over 1,000 years, and he does not look a day younger than he did whenever it all started. Showed up out of nowhere, conquered the whole world as far as we know, and we're kind of in the sour situation now. So, we need that information. We've heard that he has it in his private library.
Aye, so we're breaking into a private library. Are we stealing documents? Are we forging them? What's the gist of what's going on here? Are we taking or are we copying?
You'll be taken. Also, you'll need to know what you're looking for. We found something of a similar nature, nothing important on it, sadly, but he does not store his information on paper. Slides you this ring of this black metal with green lines moving throughout it in like a vein pattern.
I'm gonna pick it up and inspect it. Would I know what this is?
Yeah. So the second you pick it up, immediately stuck in your head is like an entire guard's training manual.
I see. Some sort of information storing rings.
Yes. I don't know how reliable it is, but it says that whatever this is coming from some Leonin of all things in the forests. I doubt it's real, considering that they don't exist, but
Well,
probably just a cover story for a mine or something.
pretty wise cover story. If it's by some miracle true, it's an untraceable person anyways, and if it's false, it gives no clues.
So, we believe that he has several items like that are storing information. It's not in his publicly accessible library. We don't know where his private library is. We don't have any maps of the inside of the palace. But we do believe that you have people already who you might be thinking of who would have certain abilities useful to this task.
I have some of my connections here in the city from previous endeavors, but I hope you're entirely aware that this is not going to be a very quick job.
Yes. Also, just for your knowledge, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that we understand the difficulty and we're prepared to help you. So now, Animus, would you reveal yourself kindly?
Hello, I am Animos.
How do you describe yourself, Animus?
In character or out of character?
Out of character. What does your character look like?
My character has a beard with heavy stubble, black hair, top and bottom, a little bit longer hair, but not too long. He is typically a quiet man, but has because of things that have happened. Do I describe that, or I've never done this before?
Yeah. So in terms of your backstory, you can reveal as much as you want to. Typically, I would reveal information about your backstory as people's characters would learn it.
Okay. So that's really the. He's a tall man. He's about 6'3", and that's pretty much about it. He keeps quiet.
Animus is one of our best guerrilla operatives. He typically goes in alone, and he will raid caravans, run overwatch, and help synchronize our operations. Quite useful in general. Also, as you can see, he's quite stealthy.
Aye.
Also, I believe now would be the time to talk payment.
Indeed. For a project like this, it's going to take a rather sizable crew. I'm thinking probably close to 7 or 8 people, just to keep all the bases covered. And I'm pretty sure you're aware this is not a risk-free thing you're asking of me and my men.
Most definitely. That's why I'm willing to put one of my best on the line.
I'm going to peer over at Anemos, kind of giving a cursory glance.
Cursory? What does that mean?
Just a quick up and down.
Okay.
And then directly at you, pretty much just. So how much are they paying you as an assassin that made you turn away from the king's court?
All of my pay is typically just enough to get by. It's more personal for me. I'm not in it for the money.
So this entire thing is based on some sort of vendetta. You don't think this is going to be dangerous, us going into the heart of an operation that's going to require delicacy with a man who's rearing and ready to kill somebody?
But are you talking to me?
I'm talking to both you and Kira.
Okay. I don't think it's gonna. Oh, sorry.
She just kind of looks at you, puts out her hand, and like expects you to speak.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be dangerous. I know it's going to be dangerous. But trust me, the reward is good. The something the rebellion needs.
All right. Let me make a couple things exceptionally clear to you, because both your life and my freedom depend on it. I could care less about this rebellion that you two appear to be a part of. If it goes my way, I don't care one way or another. King can live, king can die. One thing I do want to make perfectly clear is that if you go into this guns blazing, if you go into it and you take a single shot out of place that I do not tell you, several good people are going to die. Have I made myself clear?
Yourself perfectly clear. We understand you're pretty much the best, and that's why we're hiring.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I can work.
How much do you think you'll need up front for operations then?
Well, up front for operations, I'll need to get a good casing on the joints, something that I'm going to have to outsource for. Maps and the like are not necessarily my thing, and I reckon that in order to slip that by unnoticed, I'm probably going to have to end up financing some bribes of a few officials. I think upfront costs for those two roles, having 1,000 gold to prove the worth to the Caesar, and then use that gold to bribe inside official should probably suffice.
Okay. So you're thinking in the ballpark of what, 200, 300 gold? Or will you need more?
For what I can promise my men, they'll each charge different rates, as outsourcing is kind of difficult, but I think upfront, just for the purpose of bribing the individuals, probably a total around 400 gold.
400? Okay.
400.
So Anemos, write that down in the notebook. Okay, thank you. And we will not be able to maintain contact with you. We have a scheduled drop point. Slide you a piece of paper. It's not in town. It's just outside the slums, slightly to the northeast.
Hi. Is there a time on the paper?
The time is Thursday at 10. Today's Thursday. It's the next week's Thursday.
1 week for a heist? Surely not leaving much time here, are you?
I figured that if you had to take much longer, you'd be out of it.
So I've been writing pretty much all this down. Which thing specifically, so I can underline it?
You guys have got 1 week to complete the heist. Thursday at 10 o'clock is the time that it's due. You guys are getting paid 400 gold up front.
Yeah, I got that.
And we'll negotiate for the final payment later, whenever you guys are trading off.
All right.
Okay. And she, at this point, counts out 400 gold, scoops it up, puts it in the bag, puts it across the table, and says, "Best of luck to you. But remember, no matter what happens, only you two know that we're with the Resistance. They can know what they're fighting for if it's going to make them actually want to help out, but they cannot know who is their payer. We can't have this traced back to us."
Benefactor deal. I understand it entirely.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll see you. And she just gets up and walks out.
All right. So, I suppose it's time for me to gather some useful people here. Who among the rest of everybody would my character know off the bat?
I would assume that he, considering that each of these people is pretty much the best at their job, he would at least have some degree of tabs on all of them.
All right, aside from
The way I
possibly-
think of it is like Ocean from Ocean's 11 knows the people.
Yeah. At this point, you could either go out and find some informants just to double check some information, or you could go out and you could just go to the people who you feel your character would already know.
All right. I feel from previous times I've probably in the past worked with Matthew, Trent, and Jonathan Ewing's characters.
Okay. Which one do you want to introduce first?
Let's go with Matthew's first.
Okay. So what's your character currently doing?
My character is currently doing a card game that's rigged.
Okay. So you're sitting at this table. What kind of game are you guys playing?
Let's go with I don't know, just a generic card game.
Okay. So first of all, roll thievery just to see how well you're manipulating the deck and how easy it is to notice.
Yeah, here, hold on. Let me get my character sheet back out. And you roll D20 for that, right?
Yeah, you can actually just go into your character sheet, click thievery or games, whichever one you want to. Looks like games.
I'm going to use thievery.
Yeah. Actually, can you use lower games? It just would make more sense here.
Okay. So just click on games.
Yep.
And then do what? Roll?
Yeah. You already did. So you're sitting there, and the skill-wise, beautiful. But in this moment, as you're just sitting there shuffling the deck and stacking all the cards, you just drop the deck, and it reveals that there's like 6 or 7 of the highest value cards just set to be in your hand. And there's only 4 of them that should be in the deck.
My bad.
Hey, what do you think you're doing there? You trying to cheat us?
Oh, no, nothing like that. Well, you see, it must have been a magician. This whole thing,
I hear. What we do to folks who cheat us, right?
No.
Left or right arm first?
How about yours? I punch him.
Okay, roll a d20
D20.
and add 7.
14.
Before or after the 7?
After the 7.
After the 7. So you sit there and you sock him real good in the jaw. And just as there's about to be an explosion of activity, the door just opens. Tyler, how gingerly or actively did you open the door in this moment?
Depends on where he's playing cards.
What's Tyler's
I would say
character?
probably the middle of the slums, considering.
All right. What were you saying, Dylan?
Was your character like ever introduced, like your features, anything like that? I don't remember
No.
like your height or your looks or whatever.
Definitely bald shaven, incredibly lanky, rather short actually. Just pure black irises. Like he's got no eye color. It's just the white and then black center of the eye. But if it's in the slums, it's definitely like throwing open the door.
And right as there's about to be a fight, just this random guy walks in, and then Anemos following behind him walks in. How does Anemos enter the room?
Just kind of casually with his head forward, following Apollos. Has kind of a small look of intimidation, but not too strong.
It's kind of that steely gaze kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. I'm not here to intimidate you, but just don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. So, in response to this, everyone just kind of turns, and he goes, and the guy who was threatening you earlier, Alistair, goes, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Oh, me? I'm here to grab my collector.
Your what?
My
Ah,
collector.
yes. I work with this man. You let me go, and I'll happily be on my way. You'll never see me again.
I have some bad news for you. We kind of need his arms. He was about to cheat us. You know how it goes, you know.
Ah, I see. His arms. Just a quick question. How is my collector supposed to be able to do his job without both of his arms available?
I don't think that's really our problem.
No, it is your problem because if you break my asset, you've incurred a debt with me, and I tend to cash out incredibly quickly.
You trying to threaten us? Kind of just stands up. This like guy with like rippling muscles on his muscles.
Does he have any weapons apparently on him?
No.
Can I shank him?
So while he's distracted, roll an attack roll.
Okay. That would just be a normal D20.
Yeah, and then you add your bonuses for your character.
7. Hold on.
I had a question. Where are y'all rolling all these?
If you go into your character sheet, there'll be like these blue little boxes where it says the skill name. You can click on those and it'll roll it for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So you roll a 24, and you stab him for a solid 9 damage, and he just like grabs his kidney and like leans over, and it's just like he's sweating. He just like immediately about face. Oh, you can just you can go. He's trying to hold his guts in his stomach.
Yeah.
Okay. Very loudly now announcing to the entire establishment of wherever we've found ourselves. Would anyone else like to try their hand at the merchandise?
Everyone just kind of like simultaneously takes a step back.
Alrighty. Now that we have that cleared
Am
up.
I able to react as well?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So my character would grab Alistair and throw him to the side in an attempt to kind of just, I guess, kind of lightly bandage the guy, but not too much. Like he doesn't care a lot, but just enough that it's like you kind of stabbed him pretty good.
You throw him to the ground, and then you pull out Fantasy Neosporin, and you just go.
Anemos, are you an experienced healer? Watching him do this.
Not too much.
Then it's probably better you let me take care of this. I'll take whatever bandages he's pulled out and I'll apply them myself.
Okay.
Roll medicine.
Wait, do we see all this pop up? Oh, it's in the chat. I see.
Yeah. So, however superficial wounds Alistair may have, you guys bandage them up expertly to the point where they're really no issue.
I think he was talking about.
I was not talking about Alistair. I was talking about the guy he stabbed.
Oh, the guy who got stabbed. Okay. In that case, if the guy who got stabbed, then yeah, you managed to bandage his guts back in. He's going to be able to make a recovery, but it's going to be one heck of one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as I'm bandaging up, basically as I'm applying and bandaging him, just apologies for the outburst. It's only business, and looks like it was your problem.
At this point, Anemos and Apollos turn around and see Alistair. And what do they see whenever they see Alistair?
They see a frail, very thin dude, wearing what looks to be like a tattered former fool's clothing. That's all I got.
Okay.
And wait, what clothing?
A former fool.
Like Jester.
Yeah.
So at this point, I feel like this would probably be the time to talk payment once you get out of this area.
How about how tall are you, Alistair?
5'10".
Okay, well, I tall or short would have worked. I don't need okay.
This is where we start getting into Puffin Forest videos territory with the tall freaks.
Wait, Alistair, you down for something a little more entertaining than peddling cards?
What's the pay? I was really getting something going before you showed up and scared away my customers.
You are doing plenty on your own. Well, it depends on what exactly you're looking for in this job. I reckon there are going to be plenty of things that are coins and plenty of things that might just be shiny for other reasons.
I have a few debts to settle. It's roughly going to be 850 gold.
Total for the job sounds reasonable to me.
You have a deal then.
All right. I'm afraid I can't pay you up front, but...
Excuse me?
Consider it a favor for a friend who just saved you from an awfully ugly bar fight you're not suited for.
Okay, find that as a fair trade. Keep them off my back and we're fine.
I feel like me and Sir laughs a lot over here, pointing at Anemos, will be more than plenty to keep you safe until the job's done.
Hey, well, who are we gathering then?
I feel like this is just the time for like a strategic movie cut. So who are we gathering then?
Well, I need to make some calls into Koyas and grab Icarus as well. Both of them, I think, are going to be suited to this task, but there are going to be a few others that I'm going to need to collect from outside, but that's something I anticipate Icarus will probably have a good deal of say in. Do you happen to know where Koyas is?
Last I heard, he was in the southern region. Don't exactly know where, but I can take you to the last known location.
Right. Let's not waste time then.
So at this point, what would Chorus be doing?
Well, considering Matthew stole my original idea,
Okay.
let's say he's casing someone for robbing a house.
Okay. So he's just kind of outside a house sitting there, probably pretending to read the newspaper or something, like getting up every so often and walking away and then showing up on like the other side of the house and so on, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So during one of the stints, whenever you're sitting there reading your newspaper, a group of 3 people walks up to you.
I'm supposed to react to that.
Well, I was hoping they would do something.
Oh,
Well, I figure Apollos would probably react first because I'm probably busy looking at the house. So
yeah, I'm familiar enough with Koyas's line of work that I'm really just going to sit next to him and act like I'm waiting, and he'll engage me when he's ready.
So, question about the profession. Koyas is a locksmith, correct? So we're right. I'm trying to figure out if my character knows him or not. If he has,
You probably wouldn't know most of these people, considering that they're a criminal element.
I know.
The
I
ones
know,
that you
but my
might
question-
know would be Dimitri, possibly Icarus.
Okay. That's fine.
So Apollo sits down next to me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna whisper in Koyas's ear. Did it tick yet? Did it make the ticking noise?
No, Alistair, no. Nice to see you again, old friend.
Hey, good to see you as well. Did you hear? We're getting a job.
A job? That doesn't sound well for us.
Considering the last one, no, probably not.
Listen,
Apollo?
to my credit about the last job, it was not my plan that went wrong.
That's what we've all said.
This time around, something that should be a much higher payoff than we've had in the past.
Such as?
Name your price.
Depends on the job.
Robbing nobles, more or less. And there's a benefactor who's willing to pay exceptionally for what we acquire.
You speak questionably of this noble.
Well, it's more like a possible collection of nobles. But the job is something that would not necessarily be out of your expertise. And your skills are quite necessary in order to formulate the plan here.
And they're not cheap either.
Correct. We're reckoning that this gig will take at most a week, and I think anywhere around the realm between 800 and 1200 gold would be more than a reasonable price to ask for your services for that amount of time. So,
let's say 900 and we have a deal for you.
all right, we'll see. All right, making a mental note of that. 900 it is. That should more than make up for whatever plan you have at this location, yes?
Yeah. Not enough money in this house to make it anyways, so.
Marvelous. Then we need to go gather some others. Let's go find Icarus.
So at this point, what would Icarus be doing?
Flying too close to the sun. I mean,
As he does, am I right?
So what I'm hearing is that he's on a con right now. Yes.
yes. Small con, but basically he's on the street right now. Walks up to a man. Please, my wife, she's sick. And the doctor's asking for a lot of money to get her better. Could you he's asking for 100 gold pieces. Anything you have helps.
Well, I don't got 100 gold pieces, but I got a couple copper.
Anything helps.
Have we started?
Now roll a deception check. Okay. So you roll. Wait 1 minute. I don't think that's correct. I'm going to double check something.
I clicked deception.
Yeah, I know. You clicked the right thing. I just want to make sure. Okay, I read it backwards. Okay, because I thought he rolled a 17 and added a 3, not rolled a 3 and added a 17. I was like, that's not right. Our con man shouldn't have only a +3. Actually, I'll be honest. I just got my paycheck. You got to take this too. It's only 5 gold, but I'm sure it will help you most.
Goodness.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Yes, the gods bless you too. And then he continues, and you hear him like muttering a prayer under his breath.
Oi. People are so cheap nowadays. Oh no. Not again. I see the 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Apollos. Is that you?
Hi. Good to see you again, old friend. Oh, you look terrible.
I've been better, but hey, I've got money for lunch.
I bet. Out of the pocket of some noble, right?
Something like that. Now, I will say that from the looks of it, I can already tell you're trying to scrounge up a crew, and I remember Coius and Alistair, but what are you doing running around with this guard here?
Well, this guard, I've been told by our benefactors, is a relatively useful solution creator.
Solution? Aye?
Yeah.
You know, I'm always one for more of a problem.
We know.
Well, yes. Let's put it this way. He makes it so that our problems become smaller. And
All right. What's the
leave it
problem
at that.
then?
Well, we have a benefactor who's wanted us to get into a place that has rather tight-lipped security, and I need a portion of the crew that won't stand out.
Well, you know, I try not to stand out, but things happen.
Yes, well, I need a few people on this job that I'm familiar with, and one of the people that I need to be familiar with should probably be on the inside, and I couldn't think of anyone better than you.
Oh, Apollos, you flatter me too much.
Only given credit where credit is due.
All right, the job pays, I assume.
Of course, naturally. Wouldn't be asking you to do this for free. You can make quite a bit of money in the time I'm going to ask you for your help.
All right, that sounds like a great deal. How tight are we talking security?
You familiar with the library?
Oh,
I need to check out some books.
all
If
right.
you catch my drift.
All right, I think I'm going to enjoy this job a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
So at this point, you've reached most of the context you already know. There's a few that you've heard of, but you're not really familiar with. But you understand that you probably need a few other people to cover. You'll probably need somebody else who can get inside as well. But since you don't know them as well, you may not trust them as much. But you also will need somebody to cover your tracks. You'll need somebody who can infiltrate really, really well, because you've got people who can infiltrate, but you need somebody who's a specialist for the really difficult ones. And you also need somebody who can get in and out of places really easily and get you guys around the city without being seen.
I have an idea for someone who might be able to provide us some information on escape routes that wouldn't be accessible to us otherwise.
Yeah, now you just need to figure out where they are. You got any contacts?
Well, I've heard tale of someone roaming around the Undercity, but I'm not sure if I personally have the information I'll need to find them.
Because you
I know
probably
a little
haven't.
bit out of the window.
Yeah.
There's certain pathways in the cities that even the guards and special guards don't bother to check, and think if we can convince an expert of those paths to assist us, it might come in exceptionally handy. Issue is finding someone who makes a habit of being non-found. But I think it's worth probably looking into a caser and an inside man first. Need someone who's either easily swayed or easily bribed for the inside contact. Someone that Icarus can keep an eye on and bounce off of to coordinate things.
Icarus? Does Icarus know a guy?
I might. I've had some dealings in the underworld, and which one's the inside man again?
That'd be Dimitri.
He's a sweeper.
Yeah, he's a sweeper. He's also an inside man.
Okay, yeah.
And I would know Dimitri, right?
Yeah, you know Dimitri. You know that he's a lawyer by day, and he typically uses his connections as such to work as an inside man for different jobs, getting information in and out of places.
Boy, I know a fellow who has a very seedy profession on the side. A lawyer, perchance.
Ah, lawyer, you say? They're my favorite kinds of people.
He's got me out of trouble a couple times.
Good. Someone who's not quick to, or someone who's quick to turn but easily motivated to stay on our side.
Who do you have in mind?
Well, his name's Dimitri. He's really good about cleaning up a mess, and he's really good about making sure the messes doesn't start either.
Yes, I don't know.
At this point, you're probably kicking yourself because he has been in places that you were guarding multiple times doing lawyering type jobs. And now you're just now finding out.
Oh, me?
That he was an inside man the whole time.
Still, I'm not I'm not exceptionally keen on the idea of having someone who makes it a professional art of turning on the group they're originally with, but it's probably the cheapest person we're going to find to be able to do the job.
He can do it.
Wait, Dimitri is just a lawyer. He's not nothing more, right?
Well, if you think so, it's probably evidence that he's good at what he does.
Scumbag.
I've not heard much of the man. I've heard his name, noticed a couple things that went down, but I'm not entirely familiar with who he is exactly and what he does. So,
Like I said, I've trusted him with my life more than a couple of times.
that'll be enough for me to clue him in on this. We'll need a way to contact him, but I'm sure you have your ways.
You would happen to know that at this very moment he is talking to a client on a case.
I think he's actually with a client right now.
Marvelous. One of the uppity ups, or someone a bit more on our level?
Let's see. Let's ask Dimitri.
Well, right now, Dimitri is probably talking to maybe someone on a little more your level. He doesn't work for the big guys very often because that draws too much attention to him. He often does many little jobs that aren't too hard, but they make enough money to keep him afloat and to support his other career.
All right. So, is Icarus going to bring us to him, or?
Yeah, I can find him.
Yeah. Around
We
this
go
point,
and find him.
yeah. Around this point, you see he leads you straight to the guard's office, with that confidence that only Icarus can barge into a place full of people who would arrest him gladly if they knew who he was. Walks straight in and asks for Dimitri.
Hello, Governor.
Yeah,
I'm
and
looking for my
Dimitri,
friend.
right now you're with a client. So
I've got to stay outside because the guards know who I am.
yeah. Well, the palace guard does.
Okay.
Not the city guard.
Okay, the city guard. Okay.
Yeah. So inside on it, your client's like, I told you, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. Didn't touch anything. I definitely did not steal that necklace. He says as he's fingering the exact necklace around his neck.
Calm
Well,
down.
sounds
calm
like it's
down.
going well.
I know you're not. I know you're not guilty. That's why I'm helping you in the first place. No. And then he just kind of keeps talking about the case for now.
I've got an alibi. I was with my friend Eric. Yeah, his name was Eric, and yeah.
Eric.
And it's been like this for the past forever, and this guy comes up with worse lies than you've ever even attempted to pass in a courtroom.
Would we be able to hear this from the hall?
Yes.
All right. About the time he's like, my friend Eric. Yeah, I'm just going to bust open the door. Not kick it down, but I'm definitely forcefully swinging open the door.
Hey, for me.
Hello.
I'm afraid I couldn't be bothered by whatever sort of necklace smuggling operation you have, as the guards here aren't fantastically bothered by what you're doing here, but I would recommend, if you don't want to end up in jail, to wear it on the inside of your shirt. As for that, pointing straight at Dimitri, you work for me now.
Dimitri!
And I'm going to plop
Hey,
the
goodness.
entire 400 gold on the desk.
Well, that would certainly pay for most of it. If I'm assuming this is the kind of job that warrants that kind of money.
Aye, there's more to follow it up if you do your job correctly. I hear you have made quite a name for yourself in shifting alliances.
Naturally, but you don't have to worry about that. I am very trustworthy to people who have enough money.
So in other words, completely untrustworthy.
Part of my concern, but I feel this is a low risk enough job for a man of your talents, and especially considering how little I plan on asking of you for it. I need someone to be involved in an inside position for the Royal Library.
Okay, so that is a pretty big hit, but I think I can handle it. Who else will be joining us?
Hello.
I'm going to
I
point
remember
at
you.
Icarus and not mention anyone else.
Ah, yes, I know him. He is very good defendant.
You know
He
it.
makes a good habit of it.
I've got the nice little puppy eyes for him.
And meanwhile, at this moment, Anemos, sitting kind of outside, yeah, he's kind of sitting in the room watching the clients, just like confused, looking at the pile of money, slowly taking the advice and then tucking the necklace into his shirt.
All right. Now, before we get down to details, this client's not very important. I suggest you remove yourself from his service.
I attempt to pickpocket the client.
The
They
one,
tries to grab the necklace.
Yeah.
yeah. So you walk over and you like kind of like kindly guide him out. Now roll thievery to see if you're able to pickpocket the necklace straight off him.
Gotcha.
Rolls another one.
Yeah. Not much better. You guys are rolling terrible right now.
It's fine.
So is low rolls good?
No,
The
low
rolls
rolls
are
are bad.
bad.
Wait, if it said he rolled. Oh wait, so I just see you rolled with a
Yeah.
21.
Yeah, so he rolled a 4 on the die.
Oh, how do I see what he rolled?
You highlight
If you
it.
hover over the 21, it'll give you more details.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you walk him out, thanks to your high bonus, you kind of steer him outwards. And once he leaves, kind of dejected, like, I just lost my defendant. Like, how am I going to afford another one? You turn around, you just show everyone the necklace, and stick it in your pocket.
Oh,
Good day of luck.
loss of evidence will help him very much in this case.
Indeed, and make you quite a reputable man for helping the innocent folk. Now, down to brass tacks. I've got these two workers with me. The crew is going to be exceptionally larger, but as it stands, me and Icarus are really the only ones you need to be familiar with, and everyone else is going to be entirely inconsequential to your job.
All right. That sounds good. How much is total payment?
Well, starting off with this upfront payment, I'll triple it when you're done. You'll get 800 more at the end of it.
Well, that sounds... Well, you have yourself a deal then. That sounds like plenty.
At this point, Anemos is sitting outside, listening in on the guards' conversations. Yeah, there was another robbery this week. Guy's in and out like a shadow. We know it's him. We've got enough sight. His gear is very noticeable, the mask, but we can't figure out who he actually is. Same guy every time. Sneaks in, sneaks out, sneaks in, sneaks out. None of us the wiser. Like, it's really getting on my nerves. I've heard that the king's actually almost got him tracked down. And if that's the case, then maybe we'll have him in our cellar soon. You know, be nice to have that on my resume. The wife would love to hear about how much of a hero I am then.
Noted. I'll tell them when they walk out of the room.
I'm guessing we walk out of
Yeah,
the
I'm
room.
guessing that you walk
Yeah,
out.
like that. I mean, the deal was pretty much over.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard the guards overhearing a man of he was a shadow-like figure. He got in and out of places that was very difficult to get into and out of. I don't know if this rings a bell to any of y'all. I am unbeknownst to most of this and most of your friends here.
There's
They said he wore a mask.
certain tales of a person in the city fitting that description. not personally familiar, but I'm not sure if anyone else is.
I heard nobody cared about him until he put on the mask.
And Koyas, you've probably actually worked with him before, considering the fact that you guys' professions go very close.
Who would this be?
This would be Dithmai, Garrett's character.
Yeah.
This sounds like Dithmai.
You have some information about this character, perhaps?
In and out. Often can't be found.
Have you worked with this man?
A few times.
Where could we find?
I can ask around, see if I can find someone who would know his whereabouts now.
Somebody's knocking on the door, Jonathan. I'll be right back. Oh, they got it.
I said, let's get going. This man's gonna be in the cellar very soon, according to what the guards are saying.
So, Koyas, I would assume that you're going to go talk to one of your informants.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, and Amos, I find...
So you, whenever you go to talk to your informant, it's this guy with this curly red hair. He's sitting there with freckles. He's probably about 21 or so. He's trying to grow a beard, but it's all patchy and loose. And he's pretending to be this homeless old dude, despite his fiery red hair, which always sets him off. And you keep on telling him that he needs to, like, cut it or something if he's going to try and pass. But he just doesn't ever do it. Hey! So, you need some more information. How much gold do you bring in this town?
Depends on if you know the information.
Probably do.
Have you heard where Dithmai is?
Ah, him. You know, the guards are paying quite a pretty penny for his information. It's going quite expensive nowadays. He's paying me not to tell anybody.
How much is he paying you?
A lot. Like 800 gold. Yeah.
Well, 800 gold's a little expensive to try to upcharge over that.
I could settle.
With?
How much you got?
What's this? What is this guy's name?
Leo.
What?
Leo.
I honestly can't hear you over the music.
Leo. If you
Leo.
want to try and turn down your end in the volume mixer, there's not much more I can do.
Okay. Phileo, do you remember the time that I helped you break into that house?
Yeah.
You want to repay a favor for a favor?
Touche. Yes. So currently, he happens to be over in, you know, his unmarked house, the one that doesn't have any street addresses or anything. I would advise not showing up within an hour or two, or else he might be kind of mad. He does have visitors.
Good to know. Good to know.
That was the single most weird interaction I have had.
What happened?
I'm muting this and then I'll tell you.
Goodness me, that.
What? What is going on?
They're having a
Something
conversation.
strange happened to Matthew at their apartment.
Oh.
So he's telling Jonathan, and it's apparently something we are not supposed to hear about.
Sad.
Indeed.
Y'all catch ye old housewives of
Yep.
One of the best ones of the season.
Whatever it was is apparently shocking because Jonathan's face has been stuck like that for a good amount of time.
I spoiled it for him.
Dude, okay.
Very funny being able
Jonathan's
to watch
reaction, though.
Jonathan's reactions and not know what the conversation is.
All right, let's take bets right now. What do y'all think it is?
I don't think they're going to tell us. I think if they didn't mind us hearing, they would have unmuted themselves.
Yeah, no, I know.
True.
So
I still
betting
can't figure
is-
out how to get it back to show everybody else's faces on the cameras. I can only see whoever's talking or making noise at the time.
Jonathan
if you
has
hover
secret brother.
if you hover over it, there should be a button that looks like a green arrow going through a rectangle. If you click on that, it should go back to it.
For share?
No.
Wait. Aha. I can drag left and right to switch my display. So I can see different
Wow.
people now. Seriously, every other time I click a button and I'm like, well, I don't know where everybody went.
Goodness. The Trinity crew stopped by. That's all the information you're getting.
That is as much information as I need to know
Wait,
that
what?
something weird
I
happened.
am back.
Trinity and group stopped by.
It was a tale.
Yes.
A very, very good tale.
So at this point, what do you guys
Matthew,
what are you
did
guys doing in
tell
terms
him
of
to go
relation to
away?
Death
I'm
of Mine?
playing D&D.
Well, if
Wait, what?
So you've got your information on terms of where he is, and you've been advised to wait a few hours. Are you going to, or are you just going straight there?
I share all the information with Apollos and let him decide.
it's an interesting decision, but
Do we have
I feel-
anyone else we need before?
there's one more, but I anticipate going after them last, and they're going to be even harder to find.
More likely to find you, honestly.
We're going to go rein in on this parade. Whatever clients he's dealing with are clients that are going to be easily replaced.
What was that about parades? Parades are basically just big cons down the street.
Yeah. So at this point, so you would currently be enjoying some alone time with your significant other in your house. Whenever, do you guys knock, or do you just barge straight in?
Would I, like, in this town, is there a familiar, like, this is going to sound oddly stupid. Is there a special knock in this town for people among the seedier portion?
Likely so.
All right. My character should be familiar with it.
Yeah.
So,
But are you knocking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
your
sorry, that was
response?
really faint, so I couldn't tell if that was
sorry.
intentional.
My microphone is really, my microphone is really directional.
All right, so you're standing outside this door, right?
Yep.
Okay, the door kind of half opens. His face looks out. Oh, God, what do you want?
Well, see, we have some need for the work of a shadow, and we have some good information that he.
Yeah, sorry, friend, you're at the wrong place. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now.
Well,
Could
then
you
can
move along?
you send him a message for me? I'm aware that this is his place. Just let him know that it's probably not safe to come back here. The guards are about to set out on a campaign in a couple hours from now to come search the residence.
Kind of has this trying to hide it very well, but subtle shift of face to, oh crap, I screwed up.
Now, I understand that you possibly also live here. I have a group of people with the safe house that's not anticipating being searched anytime soon. If you would care to accompany us.
I see. Yeah. All right. Just give me a minute.
All right.
Closes the door, and then a few minutes later, reopens the door. Has a small bag of some supplies. Well, let's go.
All right. Going to go back to the place that I made the deal with Anemos in the first instance.
Yeah.
And on the way there, sort of explain. Now, we're looking for the man some call the Shadow for a little bit of a project we're working on. Understanding that he's your friend, I understand that you may need to communicate with him what's going on.
What kind of project exactly?
We have some need for a person who's able to get in and out of a place quickly to
Oh yeah, of course. He's the best.
Would
you really go to anyone else?
To draw out some floor plans and possibly be involved in procuring some items of interest for a benefactor of ours.
Oh yeah, of course. That's easy. Where are you trying to get into?
Let's get to the safe house. And I'd like to speak with the Shadow directly, if possible.
Ah, yeah, okay. Understandable.
All right. So through one chain or another, unless anything incredibly outrageous happens, we end up at the safe house.
Yeah. Okay.
And once
Do we have Darigaz? Darigaz?
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's going to be the last one we end up getting.
Cool.
Ooh,
What is the
excuse
safe
me.
house like?
Yeah. So the front of the safe house looks like a fairly small house. But whenever you knock on it, somebody opens the door, and they will lead you down a passageway. The actual top bit is just a passageway that leads underground into this dugout area, which has got a full-surface bar. It's got bedrooms off the side and a planning room off on the other end.
Would you say Dimitri has ever been here before?
Dimitri likely has not. Anemos likely has not. Icarus has probably been here both with groups and alone. Dithami has probably not been to this specific one. And Alistair and Koish would be well familiar with this for whenever they get hired for jobs.
Oh, All Hallows Eve, great party.
Home sweet home.
Alistair, I can't believe you put that card in my pocket somehow. I have no idea. It was my card too.
What can I say? Sticky fingers.
That's a useful
has
task.
the necklace on my hand.
All right. Gonna get checked into one of the rooms. All right. So, when can we expect our mutual friend to arrive? Talking to Garrett's character.
Just give me a minute. You'll
All
come.
right.
You'll come out.
Oh, he's Batman.
Dithami kind of walks over into a more secluded part of the room, pulls out this strange white mask from his bag, and then kind of puts it on, attaches it slowly, and then very dramatically and thespian-like spins around. Well, hello! It is I.
That's awfully convenient timing. Our friend must be a quick communicator.
Indeed he is. Because he only works with the best.
Well then, let's get down to business. Come inside. We have some talks. All right.
The Huns.
All right. At this point, gonna basically get a nightstand or whatever's in one of the soundproofed bedrooms and lay out a map of the city. All right. So we're here for primarily two reasons.
And feel free to draw on the map as you talk about this stuff.
All right. Do I know? I mean, I know, but where the palace is the red bit, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So first things first, we're going to be tackling this spot here. Probably one of the largest jobs most, if not all of us have ever done. My name is Apollos, but if for some reason or another we get separated or one of you gets captured, that name will get you nowhere. But for the sake of catching my attention, that is what you can use to call me. Couple very important things. Some of you are familiar with my style of work and some of you are not. Everything will go incredibly smoothly if we follow my plan, and everything will go exceptionally poorly if we intentionally disregard it. So, talking about this, stakes are high, understandable with the risk of the place we are attempting to come into here. A benefactor who has chosen to remain largely anonymous has tasked us with infiltrating this area for the purpose of acquiring some items from the palace library. So we're going to need some multi-steps to this. I anticipate that Icarus, our friend here of the chateau, I'm afraid I didn't quite catch your name, but I understand if you're not wont to tell this many people. And Dimitri will largely be in charge of the pre-setup for what we're intending on doing here. Maintaining a either standard unsuspecting or an undetected presence within the palace for a short amount of time, mapping out anything important it is, and deciding what route would be best for us to get in and out as swiftly as possible. Once we have that information, there's going to be a situation of the actual heist itself. A very quick get in as quietly and freely as possible, grab some items of import, and leave without getting caught. The one contingency for this situation has not yet been acquired to our party, but it's something I anticipate will be helped by a little bit of urban legend if the rumors I've heard are true. After this point, it's a yes.
Yeah, sorry. How are we supposed to steal something that we don't know what it is?
I'll be explaining that momentarily. Once we have the objects of import, it'll be a situation of trying to keep our trails silent for a day or so before coming back to this safe house. I think the biggest mistake that we could possibly make is ruining the trust of the people in charge of the safe house by bringing the guard here. So I want to ensure that we leave a day extra on the plan to shake off any of the persistent pursuers that we might have if this plan does not go 100% perfectly. Now, this being said, and I'm going to pull out the ring that I was shown when I was hired. The plan has to deal with the acquirement of these. For lack of a better term, they're rings of knowledge. They're able to impart some amount of memory to whoever holds them, allowing you to collect information. Someone is paying very highly for the acquisition of information relating to the history and physical nature of the king. And so the main goal of this is to enter into the palace library and acquire as many of these rings pertaining to that information as possible before getting out. So, I want a couple things here made strategically clear. The one part of the plan that we are missing is someone who is able to get an escape route that the guards won't bother following us in should something happen that gets us detected. Palace guards are, I don't want to say an unknown element, but there are rumors of a special breed among the guard that might prove more difficult to detecting our presence than previously would have been for any other jobs you might have been a part of. And so it's entirely possible that detection is not only likely, but an inevitability in this project. And in that case, we need a plan for that eventuality. And I believe the Undercity is our best plan for that. So the gist of this heist is Dimitri, Icarus, and our friend here, the Chateau, are going to spend a couple days getting the layout, finding the quickest and least fortified route to get to the palace library. Then once we have that layout planned, coming back here, consolidating our plan, and going in with a very in and out with Coas and our friend the Shadow, as well as Alistair, to acquire the items and leave. And if the extra route is necessary, our urban legend providing a way through the Undercity so that you're not pursued as far. I will be standing point watching along with Anemos to make sure that if anything goes wrong and you're forced to leave through the streets, that your pursuers will be hindered otherwise. Now, before moving forward, does anyone have any questions? All right. Take your queried silence as a no. In that case, moving forward, I've heard tales that something has been living in the Undercity. The tales on what it is ranges from absolute animalistic beast to just a wild man scorned by the city, but I find urban legend has a small bit of truth to it, and I find it quite likely that someone who is quite adept at sneaking around has probably taken up residence in the Undercity, and I feel their knowledge would make it would make itself quite useful to any plans we had in mind.
Yeah. You guys would also probably be thinking around this time, those of you who don't have higher society kind of implications, so that'd be the people who live in more poor circumstances or amongst the slums, stuff like that, would also know. I've heard stories of the king keeping a dragon down in the sewers. So first of all, it's impressive that this guy stayed alive. Second thing is also just a question of if you're going to go get him, is the dragon going to kill you while you're down there?
Okay.
You mean there's a man living down there?
Potentially.
You mean living where the dragon is?
It could be the dragon that's actually being talked about here, but either way, it's something smart enough to have evaded capture if it does exist. And so two things are evident from that. One, they will be incredibly useful to us. And second, it will be incredibly difficult for us to find them. So, any of you here, perchance, a good tracker?
The tracking skill would be survival. So if you guys check in there, you probably would want to compare to see who has the highest number of that.
Ironically, might be me and Garrett.
Definitely not me.
Next to none. You'll find me.
I have a 9.
I have a 9 as well.
And I do
I
as well.
have a 3.
Proud
All
of
right.
you.
So we've got 3 okay trackers.
Not really a skill you typically pick up in the city.
I have played a couple of games down there.
Now,
Perhaps. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, you
You
were
go ahead.
saying about games.
Yeah,
down
you
there.
go ahead.
Now, I think best we can do is narrowing down the area that we have to look, because the Undercity, well, is frankly for most of the entire city. Without having the presence of a running water system, I find it highly unlikely that the monster is hiding in the portion of the city that does not contain any sewage outpost. I also find it highly unlikely that the area surrounding the palace, the palace itself, nor any of the areas surrounding the palace would provide an environment that would allow it to go undetected for so long. So this leaves us with two main swaths of the city to search. Now, of these two, Jonathan, which is the poorer side?
So where are we looking? So of these two, this is the middle class-ish area. This is the poor side.
All right.
Green's the non-violent poor, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. All right. Now, due to the prevalence of stories about it, I think tail follows location, and so I think the area where he's talked about more is probably more likely where we're going to find him. And so I'd reckon confining our search to this area at the start is probably going to yield the best results. Now, this goes without saying, but upon encountering it, it's probably best if you are not noticed. If you happen to find it, come retrieve me. Okay.
So which area of this section do you guys plan on entering the sewers in? 1 second. I'm going to draw like the general access points down here. So there's, oh, that's not a drawing tool. There we go. This is one access point. This is a very major access point that pretty much everyone knows about in the underworld. There's also a number of access points headed along this line. These would be the areas to find it. Find access points. These are two big ones here that are just generally kind of mapped by the underworld. The lines are less mapped.
I think it's probably best if we work from the center and move outwards.
Okay.
On that end, we can cover more ground.
So you're going to go in right there. Okay. So as you guys head down, the pipe splits 3 different directions. One heading off along the line of the lake, and then it continues on into here, and continues on this way.
All right. Gents, pick a tunnel.
Well, if I was a dragon, I'd be wanting to go away from the water. So.
All right.
Are you sure we're looking for the dragon? Because dragons don't help missions. Dragons kill missions.
It's fine. If there's a dragon who's evaded the king for this long, then we're on his side, and it should be relatively easy for us to convince him of such. All right, so
Okay.
Icarus is going this way, right?
Okay. So we
It's
got
more a question than a statement. But
anyone going to join me?
I think it's better if we split to cover more ground. We only have a week to pull this off, and I don't want to spend more than a day trying to find this man. Or beast, or whatever.
So I'll go south?
I'll take the northernmost route, and if I end up getting stopped, I'll turn back around and go down to Icarus, because I know the paths get more diversified that way.
Wait, is everyone in the sewers right now? Or everyone Yeah, we're in the
As
sewers.
many as wanted to go.
Okay.
Maybe Dimitri did. Yeah, oh, sorry, it's his call.
Here's the thing about Dimitri. He might actually be an asset in the sewers because he has many things that can help. Because while he isn't good at finding things himself by his own skills, he has many things that can help him both stay hidden and find things.
I like that.
I might join Icarus to support him, since I'm not very good at looking by myself, but I have a lot of things that can help.
Yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention is that here in these sewers, every so many feet, you guys see like these runes that glow this sickly green color carved into the wall.
Would I know what they're for?
You can make a check too.
Arcana, right?
Yeah. And yeah, 1 second. I'm going to respond to that. So that would be, so you can tell that this is a language. It's not necessarily an arcane language in and of itself, but it holds some sort of magical power. It's very primal in nature.
Well, whatever it is that's down here is probably capable of some magic. The fact that it's evaded the king for this long, with its reputation and magical capabilities, it's all the more interesting.
Yeah. The other interesting thing, Dimitri, is that there's so many of these runes that's kind of flooding your senses.
Okay. All right. Icarus, keep an eye on these runes. They're fairly odd. They seem to be focused. From what I know of runes, they seem to be focused on changing things into other things, or at least something of that nature.
So don't touch the runes.
Probably it's best not to touch the runes.
Got it.
Right. I'll explore the northern tunnel.
And Dimitri, where are you headed?
I'm joining Icarus.
So they're going in the south tunnel?
Okay. I need one person from each group to roll a D100 for me.
Do you want to roll it, Dimitri?
Sure.
Did anybody go east?
D100.
No.
18.
Unless you're going east, but
I guess I can say.
If you go east, I'll go with you.
Yeah, let's go.
So Dithamai and Alistair are going together east.
You said
Yeah.
100.
I'll
would
take
this be a place-
west.
Hey, would this be a place where my whisper elf ability would be very helpful?
You could definitely be using it to listen in.
Has anyone taken west yet?
there is no western tunnel.
Yeah, but he
Oh, I
can go
guess-
down
I guess
south
from-
and then head west.
Yeah.
Garrett, did you roll D100?
No, I can do that real quick.
Okay.
So there's a north, northeast, and south tunnel, or north, east, and south, I guess, depending on how you look at it.
Because to draw on what you guys have been able to detect so far of it, you guys have that much.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to ask Icarus something. Icarus, how good are you at sneaking around? Not just lying, like just being undetected in general.
Not fantastic, but
I can help with that because I trust you with this because I know I can trust you because I've known you for so long and you've been such a great friend. And I place a hand on Icarus's shoulder, and
the mage.
when you look at your hands, they disappear, and there's nothing there. You are invisible, and I will do the same to myself.
And
It's amazing.
It's not. It doesn't seem to require concentration, and you can target any creature.
I'll be darned.
You see right through me, Icarus. I mean, Dimitri.
Okay, wait. So what directions is everyone going?
If we have three directions right now, if we have two going south, two going east, and only one going north, I'll go north with you.
Yeah.
Apollo.
Makes sense.
Might as well have
Hey, Robert, are you there to unmute? You sense 2 blasts of alteration magic. What would your character be doing in response to that?
It might be AFK.
He unmuted.
Unmuted.
Or,
Yeah,
not John.
I hit ask to unmute.
Okay.
His
So he
mic
unmuted
just might not be working.
Yeah, I hope it is.
So I guess just to clarify, me and Animos are heading north. Is that what we said?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess Apollo's head north. And best to have someone who's good with a weapon defending our mastermind.
Okay. Burrito. You there?
Hello, Senor Roberto.
You might want to text him.
Yeah.
Well, while this is occurring, I'm going to go procure some water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for a second too. I'll be right back.
I'll be back too.
Everybody make a water
Well,
check.
if everyone's going.
Yeah, this is the I always forget what it's called. What's
Intermission.
Yeah, intermission. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Commercial break.
Yo, y'all should be like getting sparkling water instead of regular water. You do me a favor.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
I get a cup of water and a cup of soup.
Yeah, if we have. Do we still have soup?
Oh yes, we still got 2 servings.
Okay.
So, Jonathan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm having fun.
That's good. As the DM, everything that happens is going to ruin the campaign, so sometimes I lose track.
Nice. Yo, okay. We're only like a few hours into this campaign, and I've already completely screwed up my dude's personality. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's not sending to Zoom. But you can hear us, right, Robert? Send me a text that you can, if you can. Yes, there is. If you go over to the on the bottom left, like if you hover over it, it should have the button that says mute. Click the up arrow above it, and you can select which speakers and microphone you're using.
It didn't work.
By the way, I'm talking to Robert just because I want you guys to know I'm not going crazy quite yet.
Here's your water.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's down near the mute button. It's actually like on the mute button in the top right of the mute button
Yo,
itself.
Liam, what's your?
Oh wait, you're on
turn
phone,
your
aren't you?
headphones to the side real quick.
If you're on phone, then it's under settings.
What?
Eric, what was that?
Turn your headphones to the side real quick. Yo, I think we have the same headset.
We do. We totally do. That's so
That's
cool.
awesome.
These things are awesome. I love them.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Anybody rocking bows? No.
Robert
And-
keeps
okay.
muting and unmuting himself. I think he is trying
wish.
to talk.
Yeah, and if it really doesn't work, then just
got it.
go into Roll20 and turn on your broadcast, your audio. And then we can all turn on our received voice and hear you talk.
I have no idea what brand this is.
I got those Audio Technicas.
Yeah, what?
Audio Technica, the good music brand that's not Bose.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
Look, you can see my foot on Matthew's screen.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's nice. Oh, that's hot.
Whenever you're trying to figure out how to wave, like, there we go. That's so awkward.
Yeah, why is Matthew playing under the bed?
Because he couldn't come out of the closet.
No.
I mean, he proposed to me, so that should have been pretty obvious.
What? He proposed to you?
Yeah, he went
after
on
kissed
engagement
Jonathan
bridge
at
with
the
him.
Retreat?
Yeah, he took me across engagement bridge and got engaged.
Wow.
Am I invited?
Now the question is, who's going to be
Trent.
one? Like, are there going to be two best men or something, or is there still going to be a maid of honor?
Trent, okay, Trent, hear me out, okay?
Yeah.
Look at me, okay? Look into
Mhm.
my eye. So, just keep in mind that the best man used to be the person you knew with the best sword fighting ability. Clearly, that's me. So you
I
need to hire me to
disagree.
be best man.
I beg to differ.
Jonathan is very trained.
I got a fork.
A pin.
I'll mess you
Wait,
up.
actually, do you have a knife on you right now? Look at that.
They're calling that a knife.
It's a letter
First of
knife.
all, Jonathan has had actual swords and
Ugh.
knows how to wield them.
You're intimidated now. I know it, Jonathan. I'm going to duel you when I get to campus.
Here, these headsets that we have are Sadie's.
Oh, okay.
Yo, you have Sadie's too?
Yo.
Yeah. So are you on your phone or are you on your computer?
Oh, we're still doing here. I'll be right back.
Okay, on your computer it'll be the bottom left mute button. There's a little arrow pointing upwards in the top right corner of it. You can click on that and it'll give you your sound settings. You can also go to the very bottom of that menu and it has audio settings in general, which you can click on and mess with. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, really? The sound setting doesn't mute you. Oh, that's funny. I was testing sound there. Yeah, Robert, if you can see my screen right now, like there's the mute button here. Normally in the spot where my mouse cursor is, there would be a little up arrow. In the case of me sharing the screen, it moves, so it's right here for me. But then you should see a menu that's somewhat like this.
We cannot see the Zoom window.
Darn it.
It's a beautiful background.
Let's try this again.
I swear I saw that exact image at an art museum when I went for summer break.
Oh, you're in the browser. I don't know how that one works.
Differently and bad.
Yeah, probably bottom right or somewhere nearby. Thank you very much, Matthew. You are blessed.
Two forks. Okay.
I've already got a spoon, by the way.
Oh, you already do?
Yeah.
Bro, he's got a spoon.
You gonna
Hi,
spoon
spoon
you?
cousin.
I got a fork.
Now the question is, what do you change? Because it was working really well at the beginning.
Maybe he should leave and come back and see if it works.
Yeah, turn it on.
Yeah, try
I'll
leaving
turn
and coming
on
back.
again.
Yes.
Yeah, I would leave and come back and see if that fixes it magically.
Okay, so just so it's clear, what all directions did everyone go?
Yes. So currently I've got Alistair and Dithemai headed right.
When you say right, you mean top, like up and right?
Yeah, up and
Is
right.
the gray the sewers?
What?
Is the gray the sewers?
So the gray's the sewers and the orange is the sewers.
Okay, so why wouldn't we go west or southeast?
What?
Unless my map just hasn't updated, on the gray thing you have it going in like an X when you're looking at it.
So if I clear this and draw this again, 1 second. Main thing is I drew it in multiple drawings.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm okay.
Yeah, and that's on my end.
Well, everyone else seemed to be getting that. I was just making sure, trying to figure out why.
Yeah, so I'll just redraw it real quick. What you guys can see is there's a shaft going this way. You guys entered here. And from there, it goes down like this and then to this side. And then it goes out like this into this side. And it also has a branch going this way. Yeah. Is that a little bit better?
Yes.
So
Mine's
we're
up.
pretty much where the blue dot is right now to start off with.
Correct.
Yeah, so there's multiple different groups. So I kind of put 1 dot with each group.
It's dark down there, right?
Yeah, it's very dark down there.
Cool. That means
I got dark vision, so I'm good.
Hey, Robert, I'm going to send you the ones that allow you to call in for audio. That way you can just use your phone. Will that help you?
What'd you say? Ooing?
I said I got dark vision. I'm good.
Okay.
Participants, invite. Oh, is it going to work this time? Got to unmute. And we still can't hear you.
Testing, test 1 2.
Oh,
test
we can
1 2.
hear you!
Yes.
What? I don't understand. Why was that such a... Oh my gosh.
Turn it off.
I never found a setting. And I closed out of it 2 times. There was nothing to change. There was nothing to unmute. Everything showed unmuted. I showed all my volumes were already up.
I think it might have just been an issue of it wasn't recognizing the correct audio device. Like your computer's default audio device might have been unmuted, but the only audio is coming through your microphone, sort of deal. Happens with my.
This is more exciting than the 04 Olympics.
Okay, so who's going
I beg to
east?
differ. Those figure skating? Woo!
Yeah, so Robert, I'm going to need you to make a perception check.
Perception.
Oh yeah, me and Dimitri about to get glacked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perception 30. Whoa.
By the way, the answer is yes.
What was the question?
A private message.
Oh, okay.
okay. So who's going east?
Yeah. So I believe Dylan was the one who said he wanted to go east. No, he's going north. But
I'm going north.
yeah. So just a quick check. So we got Animos and Apollos north. We've got Alistair and Dithamai east. South, we've got Dimitri and Icarus. And Corius is going where?
I'll go with Alistair because I know them best. I know Alistair best. So.
Okay. And then
I'm just going to be upfront with all of y'all. As far as names, both of real people, because I don't really know y'all yet.
Yeah.
Most of y'all. And in character, y'all's names aren't like Joe and Bob.
Yeah.
Like, the odds of me being able to distinguish any of you effectively, it's going to be very difficult. So I might just give you all random nicknames and hope that y'all answer correctly. And I'll
Sounds
probably just
fun to me.
even if you're the wrong person.
Call me Josephus Jones right now.
Yeah. The other thing, Robert, is for the character names, I tagged each Zoom person with their character's name.
Well, I know who I am.
Yeah. But like if you look at Tyler, his name on Zoom is Apollos.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah.
there's a button somewhere that says gallery view instead of
I
speaker
just
view.
found that. So now I've got like 4 people on a screen.
Okay.
Wipe to the left or right. You should be able to see more of us.
Yeah. I have 3 different pages of webcams. Which is kind of cool.
Not gonna lie. Pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Cool. I don't remember what any of y'all's professions and stuff were though, so I might need a couple of reminders.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's mostly my job.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, because I have no idea what anyone's jobs are right now.
Good that I'm not the only one.
Well, the Heist Google Docs. That's what I did.
I'm the handsome one.
The handsome one.
Can you roll me a perception check, Robert?
I did. It was a
That
30.
Oh, you did.
old lady.
Oh, it was a 30. Everyone roll stealth checks.
Or,
Okay.
oh gosh. Wait, okay. How do I... Rolling is the one thing I haven't figured out.
Yeah, so you go into your
open up
character sheet,
Okay.
In roll 20.
and then scroll down towards the middle. You see where it's like the list of names of like skills?
Yeah.
Click on the one that says stealth.
How about those
Hell.
about us that are
Did it do it?
Entire party gets above
Yep.
20. Oh my goodness.
That felt
Okay.
good.
So Animos passes.
Oh, golly. Let's go.
And everyone else.
Who passes? I had a 30 in perception.
Yeah. Animos rolled a 36.
Oh, good.
Oh, goodness.
Where?
He rolled his privately, apparently.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't see
No, no.
that well.
No,
Cool.
mine's here. Mine's not private. So.
Definitely was probably something that only Jonathan could see.
Yeah, I couldn't see it at all.
Um,
He's lying to me.
It's okay. That's all right.
Shouldn't
That's Nick.
Jonathan Ewing and Liam currently have bonuses since they casted invisibility?
Oh, yes.
But
Can
he
you click on
detected
invisibility
there.
for me there? Oh, wait. No, I need to look at the rules. You still have them written down. 1 second.
I have it right here.
Okay, what does it say? What's the bonus?
Cloaked in illusion, the target becomes invisible. This makes it undetected to all creatures, though the creature can attempt to find the target, making it hidden to them instead. If the target uses a hostile action, the spell ends after that hostile action is completed. Well, invisible,
Okay.
and then the rule
Okay,
for
so-
invisible is, yeah.
So
So-
Dimitri and Icarus are undetected still.
So there are 3 people that are undetected to me, essentially.
Yeah. You know that.
I'm basically detected because I'm with people that are undetected. Or that are detected, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Leg it. Run.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yes.
So I have the Darkseer feat. Can I roll perception?
Not quite yet, because he's not detecting you via sight.
Gotcha. Okay.
So currently, Dithami has been noticed. So this group in the right tunnel, with that ping that you just saw there, Robert,
Uh-huh.
this group has been detected.
Okay.
And then we've got Apollos. This group has been detected. But
Okay.
those are the only 2 groups that you've detected.
Okay.
So in reaction to that, what do you start doing?
I will hop into some liquid and use my ability to cloak my scales.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Some liquid.
Yeah. If he had said water, I would have corrected him. That's not
And if-
water.
Accurate. That's for both number 1 and number 2. PP and poo poo. and a little bit of other stuff.
Yeah. And where do you say your character is currently? If you could just ping that for me real quick.
Well, if I'm able to notice both of them, and where did they actually enter from?
They entered from right here.
Wait,
That's what I thought.
so should we just not look at the ping?
Yeah, I would hope that you guys wouldn't, but also...
Yeah, I'm just going to cover it up and just not look. Tell me after you ping.
Yeah, I know that... Okay, so ping where you are. You just hold down to click.
Hold on, I'm going to pull up the little map you sent me. So that I can compare it to what I'm looking at right here. And are you saying that I've detected them magically or by sight?
By sound.
Sound, okay. In that case,
Worst PP.
There would be less noise in our group, I guess you could say. Hopefully,
can I be around in here? Somewhere around in here?
Got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
I'm opening the map again.
Clear.
Okay, so considering that, are you moving towards or away from the group?
I will. I will move towards the group and put myself at or near an intersection.
Okay. Any
That
intersection
way-
that you have in mind? You can just give me a count off from like the main intersection, that direction, and you can tell me.
I did not understand your directions, but
You
Yeah,
made a
so
high-
like 1 second. Let me look at this.
map is
So looking at the map, like you see how like there's that large intersection that they're going down, right?
yes.
And you can count there's 2 different intersections crossing it before it goes out of the city, right?
You're talking about over here and over here?
Yeah.
Right.
As it goes outwards. So like you can give me a count of which intersection you're at, so I would know.
So I can't hide the sound thing. So I'm gonna hear this.
Yeah.
Would it be easier just to ping it again?
Well, the thing about
Yeah,
this is that
actually-
pinging it does no real good because the map doesn't overlay.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So if I say 1,
Can you
You can
Does
honestly
that-
just send me it in text, 1 or 2.
a message so we don't know?
1 is fine.
Okay, got it.
I
And
don't
then
know.
you can
I don't
ping
know.
me towards which one that is.
Got it. Okay. So as you guys keep going, Dimitri, you do exactly as you asked to. Which direction does your group want to split it off into?
Let's see. I'll ask Icarus first. Is there any direction he would think is a good idea to go into?
So we're at an intersection.
Yeah. You see where there's like these 3 different.
Oh, there's 3
You're
different-
here. Near this area.
Okay. I'll say we just keep heading south.
All right, sounds good to me.
So someone, I guess, might need to split off into those other sections, right?
Possibly.
Okay.
So as you
I like
guys continue along here, and you come across a chamber underground here, and as you come near the chamber, the walkways nearby are destroyed on either side, and you can see into the chamber. Up north, are you guys just going to continue up north? That should be, Nemos and Apollos, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking of backtracking now and going down there.
Well,
Is it two?
The thing is, you don't know that it splits off down there.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I thought I just misread it earlier. Okay, I didn't know they just discovered that. Okay, my bad.
yeah, we don't really have any knowledge.
Okay.
So we're just going to continue north.
It continues up here and starts to bend this way.
We'll follow the bend.
And now for the middle group. So you guys, I need you guys to make perception checks. And then I'm going to need Derek Oz to make a perception check at advantage.
Does he have advantage over me, Jonathan?
Yes, he does because of his circumstances.
Okay.
29 for mine.
Yours is stealth, not perception, my bad.
Oh, mine is stealth. Okay, let me redo that. Stealth is 32.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
So at this point, you guys continue walking by. And Derek Oz, they're walking right by you on the pathways. How do you respond to this? They don't seem to have noticed you.
Can I hear anything that they're saying, or are they speaking at all?
You
Can I
guys be
discern
speaking at
any
all about
intent?
anything?
So, okay, theoretically, Alistair, have you ever killed a dragon before?
I've killed a very, very...
You're muted, friend. You're muted.
You're muted.
I don't think he's muted. He just sounds very far away.
No, yeah, I was speaking through
It's because it's
Jonathan.
echoing.
Oh,
I've killed a very tiny lizard.
Okay, yeah, but like, imagine that, but the size of like 3 of you. Okay? Have you killed one of those?
Like a salamander?
Okay, like imagine a salamander, but like 4 of you.
Do we know Dithmai's name? Has he said his name at all?
I think so.
I mean, technically,
You
I'm
know
referred
his
to as
name.
the shadow at
You
this
know
point,
his
but it
name.
doesn't really matter.
Because
Do
you
what?
But you're not.
He's
with
just the
us.
shadow.
No, yeah, I am. That's the group. I'm
Shadow.
with.
Yeah, that's right. You, okay, that's right.
So wait, are you going by Shadow right now, or the Shadow?
Yeah, we can.
Is that
This is
okay? So have
Hello,
you actually?
Mr. The
Do you actually think there's a real dragon down here?
You know, here's the thing. I have spent enough time in nobles' establishments, and they get up to some really freaky stuff. And I would not be surprised if they figured out some way, whether they exist or not, to get some kind of big old lizard in here to just kill anything that wants, to just poke around a little bit, right? Because, we're just trying to have fun down here, right? We're just trying to, have some good times surrounded by piles of crap.
I
But,
have sock puppets.
I'm sorry, what?
I have some sock puppets to kill time.
Okay. Like, are we all gonna have a sock puppet? Like, are we playing pretend? Is that what you're trying to do?
Surely, though, if this dragon is really down here, he hates the nobles as much as we do, though.
What? Oh, actually, Jonathan, real quick. So, how much are dragons known about by relatively common people?
They take the way that a European peasant would think about a dragon in medieval times, and that's about what they know. They may be exaggerated in some areas, may be wrong in others, but
Okay.
kind of mythologized more than anything.
You're acting as if dragons have brains. Okay? A dragon is about as smart as a squirrel. All right? Except for that squirrel is huge and wants to kill you and breathes fire or acid or what other unholy thing these imperial people decided to put into their big old lizard.
Then that's to say if they're real or not.
Yeah, no, that was my exact point at the beginning. I don't even know if this dude's real, okay? I mean, and for all I know, maybe he's a genius. Maybe he's the next insert this world equivalent of Einstein. I don't know. You don't know. Maybe he doesn't even breathe fire. Maybe he breathes like a mathematics or some kind of, arcane division. We don't know. So, I'm just saying we should be prepared is really all I'm trying to say.
At this point, can we see, is there the arcane writing on the wall?
Oh yeah, it's all over the sewers everywhere.
Okay.
You see exactly what I'm talking about. There's some kind of magic math going on down here.
I touch
Something's
it.
down here. Something.
I touch the arcane writing.
Okay, you touch it, and it doesn't seem to react at all, no matter what you do to it.
Oh.
Is Alistair saddened by this? Or is he just like,
To at least get burned to bits.
He's confused by it. It's not working.
Alistair, what did you expect to happen?
It's a wall.
For it to come onto my head.
Okay, Alistair. I kind of walk over and put my hand on his shoulder.
I reach for my knife.
When you walk, hey, no, it's fine. Just hear me out, okay? When you walk up to a sign and you touch it, does the letter go from the sign to your hand?
Yes.
No.
Yes. So what made you think that going up to the wall and touching the wall would make the big word go into your hand?
He points at it. It's glowing.
So it's actually not the worst.
Isn't it
one.
glowing?
You know what? It's fine. Just go touch every wall. You know what? Your new mission is to touch every single piece of writing on this wall.
At least we know the writing is safe to touch now.
And now, moving over to Dimitri and Icarus. Hello. So as you guys are continuing to explore, you've reached this impasse. What are you guys going to do about it?
Well, we can see the room, right?
Yeah, you can see into the room.
What's in the room? And how well lit is it? Because I think, are we both...
Do either of you guys have dark vision? I know your familiar does.
I have dark vision.
Okay. So through your familiar's eyes and for Icarus through your very own, you guys can look into this room. It seems to be dammed up to multiple different degrees around it. There's an awful rotten stench coming from inside of it. The water inside seems stagnant. It's got these walkways around the edges, and it kind of domes upward. And then it's got this stone island in the middle of the room.
I don't really like the look of this, if I'm being honest here. What about you, Icarus?
We can have a look around. Oh, man, it smells more than anything.
I can't see.
Would you
very
ping
well.
on the map where they're at, please? Yeah, okay. Just making sure that I'm looking at the right place. Continue.
Yeah. So how are you guys planning on getting past the point where the walkway is destroyed?
Let's see. I'm not very good. I'm not very athletic, and I don't really have any spells for this. Well, I do, but it's a spell I would not want to. But it's a very powerful spell I don't want to waste.
I mean, I picked up a thing or two. I mean, I can toss something about 30 feet. Yeah, give or take.
What did you have in mind?
Well, it's usually used to. I usually use it to throw something for a distraction. I'm not sure if I could throw a whole person, but
all right.
Might not be wise, but I wouldn't describe myself as wise either.
Perhaps not.
You're gonna have to toss me.
I'm not a very heavy person. Uh, no, I didn't grab that as my signature. That would be useful if I did, but I did not. Huh.
So how far? So the walkway is destroyed.
Yeah, for probably about 5-10 feet.
Oh,
But also keep in mind the fact of, think about this in real life. Can you chuck a person 10 feet?
No.
well, I was thinking of using my otherworldly magic thing, but that's probably only for objects, right? Not. I don't think I could huck a person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
for light objects.
How good are you at throwing?
I mean,
Wait.
I'll work out from time to time.
I can get across. I do have a way to get across, but I can't get you across without using a very powerful spell that I'd rather save.
All right. Well, if you can get across, I can try and fashion something to get me across.
Oh, all right. So let's see. Yeah. So cats can jump 10 feet. They're pretty agile. So what Dimitri's gonna do, is he is going to use a spell, and before your eyes, he turns into a cat. He uses pest form to turn into a cat for 10 minutes, and he effortlessly, or maybe this might require a roll, but cats jump pretty far. He attempts to jump the gap as a cat.
Yeah. So as you attempt to make this jump, roll an acrobatics check.
All right. Do I add anything to that for being a cat?
No, but I will account for it in terms of difficulty.
Okay. Let's roll well because it's a plus 3. 14. That's not horrible.
Yeah. So you go off and you take a jump, and you make it about 8 feet, and then you see the sewage below you. And you plummet straight in, and it's not like fluid. It's like got chunks in it, and like your speed like changes at different moments as you reach different amounts of resistances. There's different levels of just like sewage, and your cat senses are like super acute now, and you smell it all, and it gets stuffed up your nose, and you're just covered head to toe in literal crap.
Oh, shoot. Can I at least try to scramble up to the other side?
Yeah, you're able to scramble back up. There's a small ramp-like kind of deal to it. It's just there's so much sewage there that if you were to walk through, it'd slow you down a fair amount. Would be unpleasant in general. But you get to the other side, and you're just like covered.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know that if you shift back to human now, it's going to get all over your clothes. So you hope that you're able to clean off before the spell wears off.
Can I cast Prestidigitation to clean myself off?
So the problem is that you're no longer able to meet somatic requirements.
That's right. Dang it. All right. So there is now a very unhappy cat on the other side of this walkway.
Unhappy cat purr.
Dimitri, we're going to have to talk about this later. I suppose I could try to jump. It's nasty down there, but I don't know. I think if I got a running start and tried to jump, that'd be pretty athletic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
You can do athletics or acrobatics, whichever one you prefer.
Oh, perfect. All right, I think I'm going to do that then.
Okay.
How we do?
You just take a bit back, go off running start, vault over it, no problem. Land on the other side. Look at the now significantly more upset cat.
Oh, lad, maybe I should have carried you. All right, well, let's keep going then, I guess.
Okay, now to move back towards Apollos and Anemus. You're going to have to unmute yourself, Tyler. I can't unmute you.
All right.
There we go.
There we go.
So explain to me why we are looking for what you described as a dragon.
So you might notice this underground network here.
Yeah.
We need someone who's familiar with it in case we need an escape route that's not the streets.
So we're
'Cause
going
if
to
we're s-
find a dragon?
I find it highly likely that whatever's down here is a dragon.
Okay. And we can trust this how?
Well, first things first, if it was a dragon, it probably wouldn't fit down here. But second of all, I have my reasons to believe that a dragon would be too proud to stay in an environment like this. I think whatever's down here is significantly more shrewd.
Guess I'll have to take your word on it.
Yeah, we're gonna continue following the bend.
And as you guys continue around, you guys see where the path comes to a split.
Would you rather go together or we can split up?
I'd rather stick together. I think
Yeah.
going southward is our best bet. Simply due to the fact that this path is nearing the edges of the city. So I think it's less likely we'll find what we're going for there as it is if we just regroup with the others.
Okay. I'm going to need you guys to check perception.
Perception?
Alrighty, let's see if the dice can roll above a 10 this time. Barely.
It's above a 10. And,
Yeah, give me a sec. Perception. Oh, is that one of the main ones?
Yeah, it'll be on the right side, underneath.
below your hit points.
Oh, okay. That's why I couldn't find it. 1 second. Let me make this box a little bigger. Okay. Below hit points be. Oh, yeah, hit points. I got it. So we just click. Do I click perceive?
Yep. Okay. So both of you quite clearly hear your friends further down this passageway talking about runes and how they thought it'd stick to their hands and the like.
You hear that?
I must be the other group. As expected, we've kind of curved back round. Let's go meet up with them.
Right.
Okay. And now to get back to our middle group.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you guys are sitting there, and you just hear slightly behind you whisper, "What is your purpose?"
Did y'all hear that?
You mean the whisper of what is your purpose?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that. So if I turn around, do I see anything?
Roll perception one last time.
Okay.
All of us are just Garrett.
Just Garrett. Also, if everyone could check their private messages. Okay. So at this point,
Still with advantage?
Yes. Oh, never mind. That does change it. So you look around, Garrett.
Wait. Can I use my whatever it's called? The site.
hearing?
Yes.
Yes. How's it worded again?
As long as you can hear normally, you can use the seek action to sense undetected creatures in a 60-foot cone instead of a 30-foot cone.
Okay.
You
Then
also
you can
gain
also roll
what?
perception.
You also gain +2 circumstance bonus to locate undetected creatures that you hear within 30 feet within an action.
Yep. Okay.
So perception. Perception.
Yeah, perception and then add that bonus.
Okay.
So, nat 1. Oof.
Yep.
So you're sitting there and you hear everything. So many sounds that you can like hear the footfalls of the other group down far, far south. Like you hear everything and it's just too much noise and you can't really, so you just kind of shut it out and try and keep going. And Daragos, you're sitting there and you remain completely undetected, but you feel like they almost found you. So how do you guys respond to the words that you heard?
I respond with the same question back to the voice. Is it going to answer?
We wait a second and see if it responds.
There's no answer.
Dang it.
Do you think he heard you? Should you say it louder?
I'm just waiting for to see if Matthew says it again.
Nope. There's no.
I wave my
response.
hands frantically.
Now, does he mean our purpose in life or our purpose for being down here?
Good ask.
Do you mean our purpose in life or our purpose of being down here?
Do not act stupid. You waste all my time.
Can I roll perception?
You can roll perception, nobody else can.
Okay.
Because everyone else has already made their checks.
Yeah. I figure the whole dark seer thing would help.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is this dim light?
This is actually leaning towards dark, but I'm giving you guys the benefit of the doubt for being able to see close to yourselves.
Okay. I was just curious for a certain item in my possession.
Yeah. This would classify as dim light or darker.
Ooh.
Did they do it?
Yes. You look over and you see these two eyes at this moment peeking out from the water. They're not quite human. In fact, let me double check to see which color they are. They're these like piercing blue eyes with like lizard-like slits down the middle of them.
I introduce myself. The name is Alistair, master of games and pickpocketing.
Who are you talking to exactly?
Whatever thing that the eyes that I see.
No, that's my character asking.
My bad.
The thing with the eyes.
Yeah, there you go. The thing that is looking at me. Right there. Point straight.
I look over at Coas or Coeus.
Oh, yes.
Coeus. Do you think the wall did something to his head?
Maybe.
I don't see anything.
Maybe.
I get bitter, and start screaming, "I am not crazy! I am not crazy!" And like pulls out a knife and just starts poking at it.
The eyes, while he's pulling out his knife and is gesturing madly towards his companions, not paying attention. Those eyes slip back under the liquid.
Oh.
Alistair, you fool.
Yeah.
So roll another stealth check at advantage there, Robert.
28.
Okay. So you see it start swimming towards you at this moment. You can tell by the water that's being disturbed there, Alistair. Nobody else has had a difference in perception of whether or not it's there, but Alistair can see it moving in the water.
Okay. Can I try and grab it?
You can jump into the canal of sewage to try and grab it if you want.
Oh. Fine.
Roll acrobatics and then athletics. Okay, so you jump off beautifully.
Jump.
Great jump. And then you like land on top of Daragaz, but you completely fail to like grip him in any way and slip off.
Oh, goodness.
And now you feel the sewage, and it's like getting underneath your clothes and like soaking them, and it reeks and it's awful, and it's like slimy against your skin, and it's like uncomfortably warm. And as it gets warmer and warmer, the deeper that you sink into it.
And
There
I
it
assume
goes.
Anamos and I would have heard this.
Yeah, you guys are pretty much in sightline now, just to see him jump off.
And explain this tunnel that they're in.
Yeah, so it's a T intersection.
Yeah, okay.
Or actually, let me double check. It might not. It is a X intersection. Going through this area on the far end of this region of the tunnels. And it's got walkways on the sides. This tunnel is probably about a good 20 feet wide. This tunnel that crosses with it is likely about 10 feet wide.
Yep. I wish to use one of my cantrips. I used to wish to use dancing lights,
Yes.
and I wish to spread 4 orbs out in varying directions, all away from me and preferably behind them to draw their attention as a distraction.
Okay. Roll deception.
Oh boy. Switch tabs. Not terrible.
So at this point, lights turn on behind you guys.
Pulsing colors of, like, one's yellow, one's a dark blue, like a navy blue kind of thing. So it just barely actually gives off any illumination, but compared to the surrounding, it definitely glows. One is a dark green, and then one is a bright orange.
And you guys, all of you except for Alistair, who's currently got muck in his eyes and is unable to see the light, kind of flip around to see what's going on behind you in this moment. Alistair, what do you do?
I attempt to remove the muck from my eyes.
Okay, so you reach up and you just, it's thickly caked, but you clean it mostly out of your eyes, enough that you can open them again. But your eyes definitely sting whenever you do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still in the pool of sewage, right?
Yeah, you're still in the canal of sewage.
Okay.
They've got little crappy gondolas.
Right now, though, it's just the 2 of them, right? And then the other 2 are headed this way.
Yeah, so there's the 2 on the side who are briefly distracted by the lights, and there's 2 more coming.
Yep. Can I make a bolt for it.
Yes. Which direction?
To the south, I guess it would be. I'm looking at the map. I'm not really sure which direction is north from here.
Yeah. So this would be south.
Okay, good. Then yeah, I wanna head down that one, and I want to make a giant U-turn. Essentially, I don't want to come out on a different side. But I mainly want to put a couple of corners in between me and them.
Okay. And you know the map there, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay. So you just send me the directions that you want to move through. Like in text. Everyone else, now Koyus and Dithemai have kind of recovered from their momentary blindness. What do you guys do? This thing is starting swimming away, and Alistair is currently in the drink.
Are we
The drink. That's so good.
Oh no.
In the stew.
Oh no. The sewer
Stewage.
jungle juice. So I'll go ahead and unsheath my gloom blade.
Okay.
And so do we see the thing moving now?
You guys at this point have seen enough action that you can see it head. 1 second. This direction.
Okay.
Do that again because I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, you also are starting to hear Apollos and Anemos start running towards you.
Okay. So Dithemai is gonna go run towards Apollos and Anemos to catch up with them and essentially let them know what's going on.
Okay.
And I'm going to follow Dithemai.
Okay. And where's Dithemai going? I'm sorry, I was dealing with some private messages.
Dithemai is running towards Anemos and Apollos.
Okay.
So no one's chasing the lizard.
Alistair is still in the water.
Yeah.
Alistair can wrangle that lizard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try and chase him.
In the water?
Yes.
So you do not have a swim speed. So you're
It's
moving
like
probably
butters.
about 3 or 4 times as slow as you'd be able to move on land.
Fair.
And so you are just slowly donkey paddling and barely gaining ground.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this thing is moving at like full land speed here in the sewage.
Goodness. I got nothing.
And at this point, you guys reunite, but I'm going to go check on our other crew.
Yep.
Okay. So you
All right.
guys just
All right.
discovered this central area here. Let me draw in the other offshoot tunnels. This cross-referencing is getting harder and harder as time goes on. So there's one going off this way, 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 one going off this way.
Ugh. I assume Dimitri is still in cat form.
Yes. He doesn't want to turn back right now because if he does, his clothes will get very dirty and they'll be a pain to clean them.
All right. All right, well, you can't talk to me as a cat, so I'll need to find a way to clean you.
Can I use verbal components in this form or no? Wait. Okay.
1 second, I have to deal with something.
Okay.
Okay. What'd you say?
I'm guessing I can't use verbal components in this form either now, right?
No.
Okay, so I can't do that.
Unless if they involve purring, in which case it's totally something you can do.
No, unfortunately not. Man, I could have made that too, but I missed a part of that spell. Oh well. So I guess I'll just follow Icarus depending on what he does.
Oh, God. Comes down to me.
So
Well.
what are you gonna do, Icarus?
Oh, sorry.
Gosh, rolling dice. Oh, even better, hitting buttons. Ugh.
Yeah, that was an accident.
Oh my gosh, dimension door! Ah!
I just dimension door right
What
now.
the heck? Ah, ah. When the cat wants to go out, I'll open my own door.
Between worlds, between planes. It's so good.
All right. Well,
Open your own world between planes.
well, we covered a lot of ground this way. Let's try going to the left. We'll head back.
There is
head
a
back
lot of
east.
lefts.
East.
There's a lot of
so
east. Ping the
well,
one. Go to your mouse cursor
ping.
and hold down. Okay. So over here.
yeah, it's go down that way.
So you guys continue along that way. 1 second. I'm going to cross-reference the additional parts of the map.
Oh, and that thing I talked about is hanging out here.
Yeah, okay. This is going to be a different color, but I don't want to keep changing it every time that we swap, so I'm sorry, not sorry. So there's another one going this way. Can you guys see that?
Uh-huh.
I'm actually just going to go over it in orange again because this color is almost impossible to see. And then this continues this way. Now heading back to our large group. Large group, feel free to unmute yourselves. So what are you guys doing? I know that Alistair's trying to slowly doggy paddle after this creature.
So I'm gonna react to what exactly happened, why they're running at me. What are you guys doing? What happened?
The old fool really is a fool.
What exactly happened?
Happened.
Prompts.
There a bunch of freaky stuff. There's like colors in like wall writing, and then like Alistair starts doing something about eyes, and like
Alistair found something.
maybe I don't know. I didn't see anything.
Alistair, did you find something?
Yes, Apollos. It is this way.
I'm just gonna book it.
And everyone else?
I'm gonna follow him.
Follow.
Yeah, I'll follow.
About what pace is everybody going?
I'm full sprinting.
So
So
Alistair is doggy paddling. Koyas?
I'll use my full speed to get to Alistair quickly.
Okay. And Anemos?
I'm gonna stay as much as I can with the pace of Apollos, but I'm not gonna outrun him if I have more ability.
Yeah, and Nithemai?
I'll be doing the same.
Okay, so I need everyone's speed.
30
Is that
feet.
for me?
Speed.
No, it doesn't matter for you.
Cool.
Where is my
Where is speed?
35?
It's
35.
on the left side. Right below class DC, right above melee strikes.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Mine's 25.
Speed 35.
35? Okay, so Koyas catches up with Alistair first after this whole thing. And then the second that he and Alistair pass the threshold of the tunnel, suddenly stone flies upwards and seals the tunnel off.
So there we're split up.
You guys just got split up, and now Daragos.
I shall ask you one more time. Why are you here?
I'm over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just you and Koyas.
We are looking for a dragon of some sort for a job.
You seek the dragon of the sewers.
Yes, we do.
What he said.
How many come with you? I hear many voices. They follow from all through the tunnels, and I do not like this. I had no warning. Nobody come to seek my favor.
There's how many of us?
There's 7 of you.
You don't have to tell him.
Enough.
I do not want your half-truths. There are 2 ways this can end, the way I see it. See, right now, you are currently separated from your party. Me, I can get out whenever I please. With or without you.
Okay.
There's 7 of us.
Now this is the type of information I like. I like you. Tell me more. What sort of job?
I'm gonna reach in to my pocket where that necklace
Do
is.
not move.
Oh.
This
You
is...
don't want necklace?
Oh, you say you come with an offering. Show me.
Peace treaty of sorts.
You have my
Just
attention.
shoves the necklace in his face and like dangles it to him.
Does this necklace actually look valuable or anything?
It's gold. It doesn't seem to have any real gemstones in it, but the metal seems to be actual gold.
At the very least, you have my ear. So you say you seek me for a job. What type of job is this?
Boys, you gotta speak on this.
I forget how much we actually know at this point because
Yeah.
I forget how much Apollos has actually told us at this point. So
Apollos has told Dithemai, I think, the most of all of you. You guys know that you're hired for a job, and I think that you guys know that you're robbing the palace to some degree.
You guys were there for the bit where I mentioned robbing the palace to get rings of knowledge.
Okay.
You are also fully aware of the entire reason why we need.
I assume my character has a good deal of information. He was with them when he.
Yeah, the problem is you're on the other side of the wall.
Well, I know.
So,
he mentioned Dithemai, so I was just.
Yeah.
It is a big royal family. We rob them of specific items. Lots of money. Lots of gold. You want to get rich, don't you?
Do you see where I live? What use do I have of petty gold? This means nothing to me.
What has meaning to you?
I seek assurances, certain ways out of the city if I need them, resources. I seek blind eyes, people in power.
What type
Can you offer me any of that? There are many things that I would take in response, that I would take to pay for my services. But all of them require most likely some form of a sacrifice. I will need a way out of the city when the time comes. Can you provide that?
Perhaps we can give you to Apollos. He knows more than the rest of us do. He can fill you in.
Is he your leader?
Yes. Yes.
Is he one of them here with you? I
Uh,
presume him to be outside of the wall.
yes, he was following us before you shut that big stone door.
Yes, that was very effective, no?
Very.
I am impressed.
So, what's in this for me? Can you personally give me any assurances? Or do I have to
Besides
talk to
the
this?
necklace? No.
What guarantee do I have that you will do me no harm, should I lower this wall and release you?
Hmm. I hand him my deck of cards and I simply say no games.
He flips the deck over, looks at it scornfully.
Sees many copies of cards that should not be in the deck.
So you are a charlatan, a con man. Interesting.
Of sorts.
And you, what do you do?
No locks. I can open anything.
Admittedly, two very useful skills to have on a party for what? Looting? Vandalism? Stealing?
Heist.
Juicy. Fine. I shall speak with your leader. And I drop the stone wall.
This way. Apollos!
Yeah.
I'm probably just right on the other side of the
Yeah.
wall.
Probably you
Wow.
had been banging on the wall.
Well,
I am told that my services are needed for some sort of a heist.
I was aware of your reputation as of knowing these tunnels like the back of your own hand, but I wasn't aware that you were adept in the primal energies.
Indeed I am. I've been stuck down here for many a year. Indeed, I have learned to adapt, learn certain tricks.
Makes your feats of avoiding the guards even more impressive, and all the more useful to us.
Between that and my legacy, the Dragon Odysseus, perhaps you have heard of me.
I've heard the rumors, although I was honestly not expecting something as akin to a dragon as you appear to be.
I get that a lot.
So
now, tell me about this heist.
I see my men have told you at least some of the plan.
Very little.
We are intending to procure artifacts for a benefactor from the royal palace, and the job will involve a heavy amount of payment, but I can tell probably from your living situation that this is not something that interests you. So before I make an offer, I'd like to know what we're working with. What can we do for you?
You speak my language. Yes. Indeed, there are many things that I could use down here, but most of it is not what is generally peddled on the upside of the street. Here's the thing, with most heists, with most jobs, you never know who will betray you. You never know the consequences. If things go south, I need a place to stay. I need resources, I need access. I will need shelter. I do not wish to compromise my home for nothing.
We have access to a number of safe houses in the city should something go immediately wrong. You have an assurance of protection that is something being in our group would garner you favor for, but that is provided independent of our group. If someone in the group were to betray you, the safe house would still be safe.
Interesting. Perhaps we should talk of collateral, some form of an assurance that I will not be turned against and turned in. I have been evading for a long time. I do not wish to throw it all away with the chance at a couple of new places for sleeping. What do you have to offer me now?
You'll have to beg my pardon. I'm a thinker, so if you would allow me a moment to consider what use we may be of to you.
Take your time. I understand that this probably did not go quite how you had planned it.
We were expecting you to be difficult to find, but this is an unexpected day, to say the least.
At this point, while you're all thinking and huddled up and whatnot, I think Daragaz will climb out of the sewage.
Also, just to give Tyler some time to think, I think we're going to swap over to our other group.
Sure. I'll give a brief description.
Oh, sorry.
I'll give a brief description of
yeah.
Daragaz so that you'll have a mental image to work with. So, he's in IRL terms, common references, think Argonian. Now make him black, fleck him with gold scales, give him some feathers as a bit of a crest along the middle, sort of a mohawk, but not starting quite as far forward, starting probably 2/3 of the way back, and then going down the neck. He has some spikes coming out of his jaws, and a couple of spikes going along, like small spikes going along his brow. A couple, two longer cresting horns. They go backwards from his brow. And a little bit, you have the feathers kind of turn off into black spikes or short spines down his back that run all the way down through the tip of his tail. He's wearing a loincloth, and that's just about it. He's got his nose pierced, the bridge of his nose pierced with some bone of some sort. He has his left brow is pierced in 2 places with more bone. He wears a little bit of tattered leather that has been skewed through with multiple bones from various rodents and creatures that he's found down here. And he has a staff that is made of very much stained, but used to be mostly white bone. And at the top of that staff, about his height, probably 5'7", 5'8", he has 3 different human skulls, each facing in a different direction in the pattern of a triangle, with feathers dangling down, orange and black feathers dangling down from each of them.
I'd like to request a private audience with you, O Dragon of the Sewers.
Yeah, and I'll take care of that right now for you guys, so you guys can talk in a breakout room together about your plan. If you could just summarize, send me the message, it'd be awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Did we hear the commotion?
You definitely heard.
Okay, I'm going to send my little friend to go investigate that.
Okay. Your little friend does move out of range.
Who's the little friend?
You don't know that yet.
Okay.
But kind of takes along this path.
You have other friends, Dimitri?
Now you guys, which way do you want to go? Do you guys want to go north or east?
So we heard something. We heard
north.
the big...
Well, actually, at this point,
Yeah.
where you guys are, you wouldn't really have a good directional sense of it. It just would be echoing throughout
Okay.
the sewers.
My
Uh,
ultimation.
which one would get us closer? The one going north, right?
Yeah, but you guys don't really know where the sound came from.
Okay. I do know that I sent my friend to investigate it, but now I'm out of range, so I'd want to head closer to that way.
Okay.
So, I'd start down that path and kind of beckon Icarus to come that way.
So like this way?
Oh, all right. Well, I guess I'm following the cat now.
Yeah, so at this point, you would see your little friend would show up just in time to see everyone else just kind of sitting around here in the intersection.
Okay. At that, I will, unfortunately, turn back into a human and get all my clothes dirty. It's gross.
You just feel like as you turn back into a human, your clothes immediately soil from the skin outward.
Well, Icarus, I want you to make make me a promise before we meet with the others, because I have a little feeling that they might have completed their mission. But I want you to make me a promise. I don't want you to tell anybody about what you saw me do today, especially the cat thing. That is a very big secret. The invisibility thing is less secret, but I would rather you keep the cat thing a secret than the invisibility thing. Do I have your word on
What
that?
cat thing?
Good man. I'd just like to make a lie to me check to see if he's actually willing to keep that secret.
Okay, make the check.
All right, that's going to be deception. Natural 1.
Yeah.
16.
So you Icarus, which one's correct?
Which one's correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to tell anybody.
Okay, you sent me the message.
We go way back.
You said, okay, you're not going to tell anybody? You believe that he's going to sell you out at the first opportunity.
I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on him from now on. Okay.
Like, the second somebody, offers him a smile in exchange for it, you think he's going to turn you in.
All right. So, I'm going to kind of sigh a little, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to try to cast Prestidigitation on myself to kind of get my clothes a bit cleaner.
Yeah. You're able to clean out some of it, but because it's coming from the skin outward, it's not necessarily just the clothes that need cleaning. You're able to kind of manage the stink, but the clothes are probably still ruined.
Oh, man.
And it was your nice suit. You were on the job today. You were going out to meet with clients, and it's not your best suit considering the client, but it's one of your nice suits, and it stinks, literally stinks.
I don't think this is going to come out with just soap and water. Anyways, let's head back to the others. I have reason to believe that they are done.
Yeah.
So I've just.
I get that feeling as well.
Yeah. So at this point, you all meet back up, and the boss is away talking. Feel free to sit here and chat with each other while I go check in on the other room.
All right.
Where did Matt?
Oh yeah, what we miss?
What happened? Dimitri, you're soaked.
Artifacts in the palace that specifically speak of military strategy and specific intrigue on the nature of the king of the world and his posse.
I wish
Information
to see this ring. Let me inspect
freely.
So he picks it up and
Immediately, information floods to your head about the nature of basically handbook of how to be a palace guard for dummies.
Not palace guard, general guard.
Ah, never mind. I did not realize you were in here.
Fascinating. I have heard tell of such things, but only in myth, only in legend. These are secrets kept of the Leonin. I did not realize that they actually existed. He hands it back.
All right. Jonathan, just for some context, the general gist is that I've been more honest with him than I've been with anyone else involved.
Yeah.
So he knows who the benefactors are.
Yeah.
You've done right by him. One of the few methods to easily recruit him. Just be honest.
The
That would
one
be
method
best.
least likely to happen.
Yeah, and preferably non-threatening.
Yeah, it was
Um,
it's one of those things of like you could easily get away from us if you wanted to, so we have to convince you, not threaten you. Which is probably a good way to go about it in general.
Agreed. Oh, agreed. This makes me so happy.
So, deal has been proposed. And do you
Your
accept?
offer is accepted. I am quite intrigued by this. I wish to steal him blind, make sure that he is without many of his resources. That shall surely deal a rather crippling blow in his future struggle against the rebellion.
Indeed. I encourage you. I have made a plan that should work to the best of our interests, and the plan does involve you being part of the group that goes and collects. And so the general attitude that I think you might agree with is steal as much as you physically can without putting yourself in danger of getting caught. And I feel that's something that you might agree with.
Oh, yes. Very, very much so.
Right?
Yes, you can
I'll
count
be-
on my aid.
I'll be explaining this in the briefing, but it is far more important that everyone makes it out than it is that we get every piece of what's in there. So if you have to make a choice between getting out with half of what we want or getting caught with all of what we want, get yourself out.
That is a smart choice. I will do what I can to ensure the safety of your people and that this mission is a success. So far as it depends on me.
That is the most
The
I can
monster
ask.
at the sewers has not been caught yet, and for good reason. I offer you such protection and security.
Or do I anticipate you'll be caught to rot in a prison cell for any amount of time?
Were I to be caught, suffice to say it would be better that you are all very, very far away from me.
Naturally.
Speaking of blows to the Empire, if I go down, so too does half of his army. I shall take absolutely all of them with me. They shall know vengeance. The dragon of the sewers, he shall be known far and wide. People shall speak his name with smiles in the pubs.
I appreciate your confidence and enthusiasm, but I would ask, in that glorious bloody rampage, if you're presented with the opportunity, and should somehow you end up captured, give me 3 days to come get you myself.
And on the fourth day, if you're not there,
kill as you please.
So be it. I shall agree to these terms.
Are you guys ready to join the main group?
Yep.
Yes. He reaches forward with his tail and puts his tail in your hand. It's very gross. It's very gross.
I've been through worse.
Stealing a
Whose
man's
wife hired you,
secret.
Well, no, because when you see 6 locks on a door, you think
wife?
lots of gold.
And
Wait.
all you got
Wait.
was
Was that
love
the nobleman
letters.
on 5th?
Yes, it was.
I conned him the next week. Small world. Small world.
Been a bad week for him.
All right, gents.
We're banned.
I do believe that we have reached a quite agreeable compromise.
I believe it's a deal that works in both of our favors. Now,
Indeed.
Dragon of the Sewers is an amazing title, but do you have a name that might be a quicker call sign for us to call you?
I would say to my friends, but truth be told, I have very few of those. And the ones that I did have, I assume they are dead. I give you, however, permission to call me Daragaz.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. You may call me Apollos or Apollos. Either one is fine.
Apollos. Interesting name. I like it. Who are
I'll
the
make
rest
a
of
risk.
you?
I'll make a risk. You can call me Icky if you want to, but
I might call you Wings.
All right, that'll work.
I am Dmitri. Dmitri Veldakov, and I'm excited to.
Are you still in cat form?
No.
Okay.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, Dimitri's been
Based on the smell, I assume you are. Yes, you're the one that was over in the tunnel that fell in. Didn't quite make that jump.
I'm not very familiar with these sewers.
It is okay. I've had my entire life to learn them. I've gotten very good at such jumps. I was not always, though.
But
Yeah, so
Oh.
what nickname did
Does
you
he
give
do this all the
Icarus?
time? Huh?
What nickname did you give Icarus? Wings? Okay.
Paul McCartney cover band, really? Cover band, breakout band.
I'm not sure that he won't just go with basic nicknames based on like visual traits. Icarus was an easy pull.
Alistair has
Alrighty, 3 of us have introduced ourselves. That's a good number.
I am Animos.
It didn't switch screens. It didn't switch screens. Who was it that just said that? I'm sorry.
Dylan, the guy in the
Okay.
Texas hat.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure because I was like, oh man, I heard it. It didn't move. Yeah,
I
right.
almost wonder if we should introduce ourselves like our roles during it, unless you already have.
Actually, that'd be very useful for me.
Okay, yeah, I'll restart then. Yeah.
Every single reminder would be great for me.
So, I am Animos. I'll be our eyes in the skies and the coordinator for the mission.
Interesting.
And
Do you have-
And the mod.
out loud enough that everyone, and I mean everyone in the party, can hear this. If anyone here betrays you, like you were afraid of happening, he's going to be the one to shoot them in the head.
Palos, do you expect there to be some betrayal on this mission?
I feel my statement just now has reduced the chances of that happening significantly.
For your sake,
Alright.
you better hope so.
I'm Coethius. I'm the locksmith that you've already spoken to.
Ah,
Or luck artisan, as some would like to call me.
Man, the egos of everybody.
Hey, that was Icarius who came up with that. So
a master of the delicate touch, you say.
You like Aries.
yes.
Icarus, but we've only known each other for 5 years, so it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. Not mad.
Okay,
Who
you be
has-
little.
Okay. Who is next? I believe I heard somebody say Koyos. Is that how the name is said?
Yes.
Koyos?
Coius.
Very good. Who else?
These people call me the Shadow. I
Ooh.
am good at getting in places. and getting
Half
out
of us
places
call him
in
the
objects.
Shadow.
I call him Shadow the Third because that's what he told me. Told me his
Shadow the
grandfather's name was that. That was part
We
of
found
my
out his real name, guys. Write it down in the notebook.
Hey, did my name just
Shadow
canonically
Detective.
become the Shadow?
That's
first the last Shadow.
Oh, the last shadow, like the last unicorn. And then we have this jester with
The
all the
name.
bright colors. Surely you do not plan to wear such vibrant and loud clothing on such a sensitive mission.
He looks down and looks back at him. I wear what I want.
One dip into the sewers, and you can wear whatever you want.
He doesn't confine to society, Stu.
Yeah. Honestly, dude, your clothes are probably just the most disgusting, ratty things you've ever worn now.
We live
Yeah.
in a
They're already ragged and worn. Now they're really ragged and worn.
And covered in crap.
Literally.
However, the look suits you.
Oof.
Can I have my counts back now?
Sure.
Whenever he hands them to you, they're covered in grime and slime.
Yeah.
He just looks at them. It just shoves them into his pocket.
So what's the plan now, Mastermind?
Plan now is, well, formulating our plan. We start tomorrow. Or some of us do. All right. Switching back over to the palace map now. More or less.
After your mission here through the sewers, perhaps you would need a guide to get back out quickly so as to save time. Or, if you'd like, you can stay down here with me. Most of the time, people do not come down here looking. And should that be the case, I'm usually pretty well aware.
I do have a question. Does the tunnel network extend near the palace itself?
Oh, yes. Wherever the king goes, the clean goes. And wherever the clean goes, so too do the sewers.
Oh, that's good.
I believe it's best
That was a
for-
well-delivered line.
That was
He's got good marketing,
I've
agent.
been working on it for literal weeks.
I believe that it would be best for you to rendezvous with us. Simply due to the fact that in order for us to get inside the establishment, it's going to take a significant amount of intrigue, and the smell of the sewers is something that would become rather noticeable if we were to go in right after.
Admittedly, for ones who are not trained in such magical arts, it can be very difficult to leave behind such a stench. But I have ways. He uses prestidigitation just real quick to clean himself up,
Yeah.
and then immediately unprestidigitates himself so that he looks back to being nasty and stinky and everything.
In your case,
Just a
it is not the stench that surrounds you that concerns me.
Yes, that is one thing that I also have a plan for, and I will expend one use of my wild shape to transform into a normal, basic-looking human in ratty clothing.
Clothing.
All right.
How's this?
If we can
What do you
find you,
think?
if we can find you a proper suit, this will be perfect.
That
No,
was
I can
Solid
only
6 out
hold.
of 10.
I can only hold this form for so long, but with a
You'll
little
only need
bit of, if I were to step inside of a room, it would be easy enough to refresh myself and re-up the dose, so to speak.
You'll only really need to hold it up for long enough to get in the front door. In fact, I think continuing to use it once you're inside for any longer than is necessary would actually be counterintuitive with the king's resources.
Thank goodness, and he drops the form. Ooh. Ooh, I hate being confined to you. Well, how do you do it with your gross little skin?
I think it's largely more comfortable because it's flexible.
I'm
You're so
moisturized.
fleshy and soft. Gross.
Pointing now to Dimitri. Do you have the capability to remove some of the more rudimentary detection that will be present in the earlier stages of the palace?
I probably do. I could certainly detect them, and I could probably remove them as well.
Fantastic. We're going to need them removed if we're going to get our friend inside
All right.
successfully without tripping any alarms.
That
Need what removed?
Magical detection.
Yeah.
Wards.
So there's all you would be familiar with this at this point because you've probably done a few jobs with nobles. Removing a ward will set it off.
Unless you're a ward breaker.
No, ward breakers are for the purpose of getting around them.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not so much that it's not so much a need of you clearing out the wards. It's more so creating a distraction significant enough that we can pass through the wards undetected.
Hold on, I might be able to do something. I just need to check to make sure.
If our friend here needs to turn into a lizard to avoid being detected via use of his magical prowess, we need whatever crowd is inside the building facing the opposite direction.
I can help him get through the magical detection the magical detection systems. He just needs to let me know.
All right. So, to this end, I know some of you have been on jobs with me previously, have access to some specialized items. I think it would be best if I knew what they were. Any assets we have help form a more careful plan, make it so that this is less likely to go in our enemy's favor.
I'll start. And he takes off this hat he's been wearing that is now covered in muck, and he kind of waves it around, and it turns into a different kind of hat. And he puts it on his head, and when he puts it on his head, he becomes a different person. His features completely change, not to anyone specific, but just completely nondescript. This is a very useful tool for getting getting into places you're not supposed to be in, or just blending in with a crowd when you need to cool off a bit.
Incredibly useful for the use we have for you.
Exactly.
Anyone else?
Is this job going to be during the day or during the night?
Sort of counterintuitively, I think this will be easier to do or to pull off during the day. It's significantly less suspicious that a group of our size would be heading into a building of this import during the day than it would be for us to show up during the night. Plus, easier for us to meld into a crowd when we escape.
I should reiterate. The palace sewers, they are an enclosed system. The city sewers, they go close, within 50 feet. Then there's some stone that we'd have to deal with, but aside from that, we can get very close to the palace.
And close is all we need. All right. Anyone else have anything they think would be pertinent equipment-wise to formation?
Stole this cloak one time, and then I put it on, and no one recognized me. Really helps for getting shiny clinky coin.
See, I was wondering how you managed to keep pulling scam cards on, or card scams on people who you'd played before. Although I just thought up to your charming personality.
Hey, you know me.
Also, just for clarity's sake, he is asking about like what kind of magic items you guys have.
Yeah,
Also asking about any kind of like backstory stuff that you have that might be able to be used as a tool.
Yeah, like if any of you are somehow able to phase through walls, that would be excellent for me to
Oh, my bad. I can do that as well. I can phase through things based on channeling my emotions.
It sounded a whole lot like you said. Whenever you are in touch with your emotions, you are very shallow and hollow.
I do not remember this about you.
That is because it is not something I do that often. Let me just say that.
How far in advance, how long do we have before we would need to do this heist?
Well, the pre-heist crew, I'd like to get in there. Hopefully by tomorrow, but soon as the day after, depending on how long it takes Dimitri to get a convincing reason for him to be in there on a consistent basis.
Well, I would like to
But-
put this forward. If I start early enough, over the course of a few days, I should be able to connect the city sewers to the palace sewers. They are separated by stone, but with enough work and effort, it is not unsurpassable.
How long do you reckon that will take you?
Few days, I can probably reliably get through 20 feet or so of stone, 20 feet deep into it. So I believe it would take roughly 3 days.
3 days will be plenty of time. Gives us an amount of time to prepare and leaves us ample time for our deadline as well. All right. So to reiterate the plan for
I have an item also.
yes,
So I've got some backstory.
Yeah. So along with all of my skills of just locksmithing and sneaking and whatnots, I have my special coin, which turns into a chest, and back into a coin, and to a chest. So if we need to smuggle anything in and out of the city, I have a coin for that.
Just watch out for Alistair grabbing all the coins.
Yeah, Alistair, keep your dirty little mitts off of this one.
If you wouldn't have beat me, that coin would not be yours.
all right, that will prove
And also-
exceptionally useful.
Also, I'm an expert in performance and can be a distraction if needed.
Oh, you're always one for
Fantastic.
flair.
If something happens to go wrong on the day that we actually go in and infiltrate, something happens to go wrong and you're encountered by guards, I think, Koyas, you're probably the one to try and play it off.
Now, I would not usually tell people of my methodology because it is a closely guarded secret of mine, but seeing how high risk this mission is, I think it's probably worth mentioning that, as some of you know now, I am quite skilled in the arcane arts. I am quite proficient with magic, especially of the more subtle kind.
Have you been tagged?
No, I have kept this a secret for a very long time.
And that's to our advantage. They're expecting tagged magic users to try something like this. If they're not I assume none of you are tagged either.
Not for arcane. No.
No, but how does one go about being untagged if you're that proficient with magic?
I have a very specific set of skills, very specific number of spells that allow me to, very specifically chosen to allow me to remain untagged. It is very hard to see the more magical parts of me.
Fascinating.
To that end, we're at a significant advantage. I don't think the Palace Guard would anticipate a non-magical attack on their operations, and so a good portion of their detection, I believe, is going to be magic-based rather than pure detection. This being said, full caution should still be taken, and the assumption should be made that even if magic is something that we can help make less detectable, that it should be used as a last resort. The instant any amount of magic presence is brought out, it's not just the Palace Guard that we will have to deal with. Anemos, you mentioned there was something that was relevant to the heist.
Yes, I mentioned earlier that at the beginning when we first met, that this was more personal for me. I once worked with the Noble Guard and the people that are here at the palace I worked with. I was actually captain of a lot of the guard and was moving up in the ranks before the current general rose to power. To not bore you with the information, I was sent away and exiled and was supposed to be executed for promotion that I did not get. Anyway, all that being said, some of the men there might recognize me, some of which could possibly be my friends, and I would prefer to avoid shooting them at all.
Indeed.
Possible.
To this end, I think it's best if your use is with me as far away from the palace as we can while still having oversight.
Yes.
Prevents that chance of interaction. Yes, Icarus.
Do you have any aversion to stabbing? Because I do have this. I pull out my dagger of venom, and it hurts like the dickens, but it does the job that it needs to do.
And I will pull out my own magical knife.
Oh, I like yours.
Most of the guard there I have more issue with than I have friendship with. But there are a couple that I was good friends with.
All right. I'll note that. Also, I'm depressed to the point where it's hard to read me emotionally. That might help. Not sure. I'm also a liar, and I had lunch with Martha Stewart last week. That last one was a lie. See, I'm good at it.
Good. I'll be honest, he definitely had me when he said he had lunch with this person. However, the depression, I'm not sure he is joking about that one. He might actually need some form of help.
I'm fine.
All right.
I'm fine.
So laying out the groundwork then, we're going to have a few days of prep, which actually works definitely in our favor. Starting...
What did I miss?
He rolled deception.
Hold on, I'm going to do a lie to me check on that one.
I don't actually want to disbelieve it. I really do think that he is very much depressed, and that does make him harder to read.
So both
He looks like he's
Oh,
depressed.
yeah, I know he's very, very sad.
He needs a hug. Poor Icarus.
He will probably end up getting one from Dimitri, but I am not his caretaker. To quote the Bible.
Yo, all the
In the
crew
words
right now.
of Cain,
Dimitri does
after
kind of
killing
go for
his
a hug.
brother Abel.
Dimitri
All
does
right.
kind of almost go for a hug, but then remembers he's covered in muck and defends against it.
So, to lay out the groundwork here, Dimitri, you're going to be our inside man. The moment you have an in, we're sending in Icarus and the Shadow to lay some basic groundwork for getting a good case of the joint, making sure that we know the layout, we know where the library is in the palace. We can't afford to spend any valuable time on the day we're actually doing this, wandering around and not knowing what it is we're looking for. This being said, Shadow and Icarus, I'm not sure how good your memory is, but if it's not very good, I need you to find a discrete way of drawing up a map. I do not need a full map of the palace. We're not interested in, frankly, a majority of it. We just need to know how to get from the entrance to the library and some possible escape routes in between.
Would it be possible to acquire some blueprints to find out the schematics of the palace sewer system? That would be very useful for a quick getaway. And depending, might be able to make something work with the library as well.
I can see if there are any public records in town, and we can have Dimitri see if there are any public records in the palace that we'd be able to access. But I cannot promise that information.
It would be worth looking into. Being able to connect everything together would make for not just easy escape, but also easy access.
Yes.
We could go virtually undetected, stay down low, come up at the right place, deal with the immediate guards, take what we need, seal everything back up, and go. None the wiser.
And that was going to be my proposition. Even before we're able to get a blueprint to you, if you could start digging as soon as you are up to the task. That way, we leave ourselves some ample time for this. Of note, this applies to the pre-setup crew. There will be a different protocol once we are actually in the midst of the heist. Before the setup crew, the three of you that are going in to case out the building, if any one of you ends up in some sort of situation where the guards are beginning to ask questions, it is imperative that the other two of you do not attempt to assist in any way, shape, or form. In this pre-setup thing, the only suspicious activity that is taking place would likely be only one of you being noticed at once. And the other two of you attempting to help will do more to sacrifice your position than it will to help anything. This being said, if something does happen to one of you in the pre-stages, because we're not actively in the midst of stealing anything, and I trust your discretion on this end, it's quite likely that if you do get held, you will not be held in any way that is exceptionally difficult for us to get into or you to get out of. So, do not talk, because it is just as easy for us to, if we find out you have talked, to come and finish you off as it is to come and get you out. Does everyone understand this?
Yeah, clear. Yeah.
Understood.
Fantastic. Standing post outside will be me and Anemos, keeping track, making sure that guard rotations are going as they're supposed to be, that everything's going according to plan. And on top of this, making sure that if there is a sticky situation without too many witnesses, that we're able to quiet down the situation. This being said, our oversight is largely there to be an informative position. If you get stuck in a situation where there is a large amount of security around you, I'm afraid the support we'll offer will simply make things worse. So, this being said, do not think that you getting captured is a death sentence. We have methods to take care of you should these things happen, and to make sure that if you are incarcerated, you won't be there for long. But this being said, it is an extreme damper on the schedule and on the plan if you do something that gets yourself captured. So, as if it wasn't painfully obvious enough for your point of self-preservation, try not to get caught. Once we have the information, we can plan out a more detailed plan of the heist, but the actual heist itself will likely involve all of us. Does anyone have any questions?
Is there any sort of a role you want me to take on to get information? I mean, I could pose as a inspector, get maps, maybe something like that. Just a patron looking for books.
In order to get to the palace, it is more than likely that it will be in your best interest to play some form of noble. As odd as it sounds, you are not trying to fit in, you are trying to blend in. Asking questions and engaging with the guards is a surefire way to get yourself noticed, even if it's for good reasons. Not every single one of us is able to change our facial features like Dimitri. If there are questions that need to be asked, I'd ask that you have him ask them. But as it stands, being as boring of a person as possible is probably in your best interest.
No, that'll be hard, but I can do it.
Dimitri makes his face very, very boring. Very plain.
This is good. Any other questions?
Do you want me to be seen at all?
That is largely dependent on your skill set. If you think you're able to disguise yourself in a manner where you could exist in plain sight, I would urge you do so. Simply because if something goes wrong and you are detected, it is significantly easier to simply say that you were a noble in the place, as opposed to trying to excuse yourself sneaking around. However, if you're unable to provide yourself a disguise, or if the manner in which you appear would seem suspicious on its own, then hiding in the shadows might be the best course. So I will leave that up to your judgment call.
All right. I have some noble friends I can pay a visit to tonight. Take some official robes.
All right. This being said, the main thing I've spent quite a bit of time in high society, so the main thing that will give you away when you are in the palace is talking too much. The main gist for those of you who are not used to high society, they have different manners, they have different ways of speaking, different etiquette and these things. The more things you actively do and the more talking that you do actively to these people, the more likely it is they find out you're not supposed to be there. So my urging is that unless you have some background in royal society, that you keep interaction with others to a minimum. Act like you are supposed to be there, but do not act like you are there with someone else. All right. Any closing questions?
Yeah.
Someone say yes.
I said no.
Ah. All right.
I
In that
do have
case,
one request.
yes.
Dimitri, I believe you have spoken of ways to mask magical presence, yes?
Yes, I have.
Excellent. Whenever I start on the sewer systems, trying to connect them, I will be using a considerable amount of magic. Your aid in making sure that we are not discovered, trying to mask that magical signature, will be quite useful. I'm sure, as you all noticed, down in the sewers where we currently are, I forgot that.
So did I.
I have sigils and magical symbols around so as to confuse the magical detectors. It is good for casting magic around in here because it is hard to pinpoint any particular area. You show up, you look for magic, you see it absolutely everywhere. You blend in by not blending in. It makes it very, very easy. But whenever we go to the palace, they will have much higher security. We'll be underground, but I will not have the aid of all of my extra confusing sigils. And it would take way too long for me to set up a network like that.
Yes, I can help. I will keep that in mind about your sewers. That can actually be quite helpful for me. But yes, I will just need to meet you and spend 10 minutes with you. And for most of the day, you will be perfect. You will be undetectable through most magical means.
Perfect. That would allow for a significant amount of progress. I believe that with that boon, I should be able to actually make most of it in one day, if not more.
Perfect.
So at this point, it's nearing 11 o'clock, Robert. So if you do need
Correct.
to go, just send me a message about. So today, in game is Thursday.
Okay.
So what day of the week you'd want to dig the tunnel, and then we can take care of Dimitri not having that spell for that day. And for anybody else who needs to leave soon, please let me know.
I'll start it Friday morning, first thing.
Friday morning?
Yeah, no reason to wait.
Yeah. And
Tyler, I believe you're muted.
Is this not a good stopping point?
It would be a good stopping point, but there's also a little bit of small stuff I want to do in terms of information gathering with you guys tonight.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be totally honest with you right now. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to go just from up here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really tired.
Yeah. If you want to leave now, you're free to. Pretty much everything from here on is just optional stuff for your characters. We're not going to be doing any of the infiltration or stuff. There's be stuff like talking to informants, finding out information, opportunities to do different things, that kind.
Very good.
I'll stick
Feel
around.
free to clue me in.
Okay.
By text or just next session, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can stay.
Who all have I talked to before the heist?
Well, like any good person in the underground, you know people who know stuff.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're the type that is.
Well, no, that was just specifically out of the members of our party.
Okay, so
Me.
yeah, you from the sounds of it, Koyus, and possibly Icarus.
Yeah, we.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, the general gist is that me, Icarus, Koyus, and Alistair are all relatively familiar with each other.
And then Dimitri is my legal counsel.
Yes, And Koyas has worked with Dithemai a few times. Anemus came out of nowhere, and Deragaz is the swamp demon who lives in the sewers.
The monster of the swamps.
Monster of the sewer.
The monster of the
Do you
swamp.
know the
I
way?
really like your
Of this-
character accent.
If
Huh?
you wanna,
I
if you
really
wanna
like
go
your
laugh,
accent.
Go to the
Thank you so
sales
much.
page.
You
Yeah,
put so
on
much
my-
work into it, it's
on
not
my
even
character.
funny.
I really have
Just
though.
update.
Yeah. No.
Update
you,
what?
you got a good it's Creole, right?
That was my attempt. Yes,
Okay.
I've been
It's gotta
spending
be
way
Creole.
too long on YouTube listening to a mix of Creole, Nigerian, and like because the Nigerian accent is whenever you hear witch doctors on like TV shows and stuff, it's a mix, I believe, of Nigerian and one or two other things, like
Okay.
elements that they mix together to make the quote unquote perfect witch doctor voice.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Very impressive.
Yeah. I do greatly appreciate that. To say that I have been driving my coworkers rather crazy with it is probably a little bit of an understatement,
Nice.
but it is very fun. It is very difficult to maintain it, is with all of you doing your own accents as well, especially the French. Oh my goodness.
Alistair with the
way-
stick in French.
They have way too many similarities that I didn't realize until I was trying to follow up any of your sentences.
And then there's like the Scottish accent with Tyler.
Which
that-
actually feeling that a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, Scottish is just one of those accents, so once
Scottish!
you're able to do it, it just takes over.
It really does.
Yeah,
it really
it's-
does.
It's one of those things of like I really, really want to get better at my Irish, but every time I start going in my Irish, it leaks
Just
over.
becomes
It
Scottish.
eventually just becomes Scottish. Yeah, it's so true.
I start doing my Irish pretty well, and then it just, over the course of a
does?
few seconds starts turning into Scottish.
Right, and it's always so subtle. It's
It
like
really
you start off right good.
You got to your
everything's
T's
all great,
popping and you're doing it all
somewhere
just
along the
fine,
way,
and then somewhere along the way, you just suddenly are Scottish and you
you
don't know
find
what went
yourself
wrong.
looking to change your fate.
Sure, shottering. Now you're motoring. Now you're sucking diesel. Aye, a t-shirt's a wee crack, innit?
Oh, good.
And if
So
that
not
sounded
to-
like gibberish to you, I would like to inform you that all of that was 100% English.
Oh, you and your potatoes.
I mean,
You take you and your potato language and you shove it up the places
You know
where
what
the
I'm
sun's
hearing in my
unshaded.
head now?
What?
That's modalism,
That's
Patrick.
Patrick. That's Aryanism, Patrick.
Oh, Patrick.
Ooh.
Oh,
Hey,
Stab you in
sweet.
the face, Patrick.
What are you afraid of,
stab you in the
Patrick?
I'm gonna stab you in the face, Patrick.
Okay, that was a wee bit much.
That was a wee bit much. I
oh,
swear, take it down a notch.
they're magically delicious.
They are so magically delicious.
We're referencing this video put out by Lutheran Satire, and it's basically them making fun of St. Patrick's Trinity analogies and how they all like represent different Christian heresies.
It's heresy, Patrick.
Don't have to send me the video or something. This sounds quite amusing.
Oh, it is.
I'll be very honest, I just assumed y'all were definitely making fun of SpongeBob. That stupid sponge with his square pants.
Yes, because SpongeBob definitely said, "That's Aryanism, Patrick."
I never really watched it, so I'll be honest, it really you could
That's
fool me.
partialism, Patrick. Well,
It got really-
who practices partialism? Obviously, the first season of the cartoon series Voltron, in which 5 robot lions combined to become 1 robot man. I've
Goodness.
never heard of this.
Yeah,
How did this?
SpongeBob
Yeah.
got real
In a
theological.
world
Jonathan
where
is
5
ins-
cat robots turn into 1 man.
Jonathan and Trent got me into Lutheran Satire,
Yeah.
and I binged like the entire channel in one day. I think that was probably
Lutheran
like
Satire,
4
huh?
hours worth of content.
Yeah, just look up Lutheran Satire on YouTube and watch the entire thing.
Except for the ones with the odd like text-to-speech voice.
Yes. Anything that has
And the
two
snow is white
leprechauns in
and
it,
snow.
Horus.
Or
Horus.
C3PO. You can just look up C3PO, and that's a really funny one making fun of Pentecostalism.
And speaking in tongues as C3PO, so you can see which line they took.
I'll have to look into it.
Yes.
All right,
Hey,
well,
what's the name of the city again?
Pyramus.
Yeah, nice.
How do you spell that? Can you put it in chat?
Yes, 1 second.
That's Pyramus, Patrick.
That's Pyramus, Patrick.
That's a magical missile, Patrick.
that there.
That's not detection there, Patrick.
Pyramus.
Also, I feel like me and Matthew's characters, anytime like we're not doing anything, the two of us are going to be playing cards against each other and both trying to pull sly moves.
For a second, I thought you were sitting there and you said, I think they were playing cards against, and my brain immediately went, humanity?
Humanity, Patrick.
That's humanity, Patrick.
But yeah, I just think
We
it'd be
don't
funny if,
play
like,
apples to apples, Patrick.
They're over there playing
Voices.
Cards Against Humanity.
What
I
do you
still
think
just think
people are?
that'd
A
be funny, you know?
child. That was a
Also,
horrible
like,
Irish accent.
bonus points to nobody for going, like, super posh British. Oh,
I
yeah.
started off with the
Icarus.
idea of playing a
That was
very
close. I
posh
went more
British
Cockney.
sewer dragon.
Yours is Cockney, though, so it's actually got flavor.
It really
British
does.
sounds
It's
British.
You
nice.
stop it. You stop it, you.
I like
British
your
all
Cockney
sounds
accent a
British.
lot.
I really like your accent too.
Mine?
Both of those.
Stop! Don't judge me. I started working on it roughly a week and a half ago.
By the way, bonus
But I have
points
been
to
going
Garrett
nonstop.
for not going with his super, like... You have this generic accent you do for all your characters. You didn't do it this time.
I mean, to be frank, my generic accent is Scottish, and it was just because I was like, well, I don't know what to do, and I hadn't really thought of it until it's time for my character to talk.
Yeah, this kind of happened on accident. I tried to... like, all
Everybody
these
just
different-
kind of chose a different accent.
Yeah.
It actually makes me really happy because you never know. Like, you could be in a group of two people. A group of two? You could be in a group of at least three people. And you can have, like, two people who both just use their normal voices and then one person doing an accent. It's just real awkward. Or you can have a group of 10 people and you can have the exact same situation.
Right.
I'm glad that everyone
Like-
decided to use an accent for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
makes me extremely happy. I feel like we somehow stumbled on, like, a magical golden vein.
Yeah, I was honestly trying to
Honestly-
figure out what accent to use for my character, and then I realized, like, well, everyone else took, like, all these foreign accents, so I might as well be
Exit
American.
flinch.
That's
I
not,
honestly
that's
have
not
no
bad.
idea. I have no idea what accent I picked up. It just sort of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it flow.
I was
Hey,
just
if,
like, I need an accent, and then whatever came